You are listening to The Mountainside, and joining us in studio is my good friend, Richie Mitchell. He's an entrepreneur, mountaineer, former U.S. Navy SEAL, founder and CEO of Narwhal Truck Toppers. But above all that, I'm honored and privileged for this to be Richie's first podcast. I learned so much about him today. I really enjoyed sitting down with Richie and recording this. Enjoy our conversation.
All right, dive into this. Yeah.
Richie Mitchell, finally on the mountainside, brother. This is a bucket list for me. I'm happy to have you here today, and I can't wait to hear about all this cool shit that you're doing. So
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man.
First things.
I got to thank you right out of the gate because you've been to the studio several times, right? Or was it just that one time you came up?
It was just the one time I came up.
Okay. So you've come up,
drop off some things.
Yeah, just to hang.
Yeah.
And you gave me one of my favorite coins sitting up here, which is cool. I have a bunch of these coins at home, and I've been considering bringing them in. But this is all stuff that I've gotten related to the podcast. And shout out to Scott and Francesca and DJ Parker is how we met. We attended pretty badass night that we had.
Yeah.
Going to some bare knuckle and hanging out with fucking Army and just the boys, man. That was a good time. But you came up after that, shortly after that, to check out the studio and gave me the largest challenge coin I've ever received, dude. And people, it sits on that side of the table on purpose, and people pick that one up first. They're like, I got to see what's on the other side of that. It's such a badass coin. So thank you. Now I get to officially thank you publicly. This one's badass. It's mountaineering. It's got the trident on it, or a custom trident.
Yeah,
right?
we
the frog man.
We had a guy in our training cell that was he has a degree in art, and he kind of designed it and put a bunch of effort into it and had the coins made. And then on that note, I brought you another one.
Oh, dude. You don't have to do that.
Here you go.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. So that one's really cool. It's from the same command. So it was like the advanced training cell of TRADET 2.
Wow.
And it's got a bunch of really cool details in it. Like,
this is super sick, man.
Which side are you looking at?
So I'm looking at the one with the trident.
Yeah,
and there's like a biohazard.
Yeah, so we had EOD embedded into that training cell. So they made a logo that kind of incorporated the SEAL trident with the EOD logo. And then there's like an AR-10 that represents the sniper sustainment training that we were doing. And then the mountaineering axe for like the recce side. And then there's a Tremor 3 reticle that's in the back of the coin. So that's like one of the optics.
That's on this side?
On the other side. On that side.
Here.
So you can see like all these stadia lines and stuff in the coin.
Oh, right.
So that's actually the reticle in the sniper rifle.
Oh, I see. There's the crosshairs too.
Yeah. So that is the reticle.
That is sick.
Yeah, if we ever go out shooting, I'll show you it.
All right.
How to use it.
We're going to go out shooting.
Yeah.
That's happening. Dude, that's so rad. Thank you, man. These mean so much to me. I got to ask you a question because, I receive a bunch of these things, but aren't you supposed to give something back at some point? Like,
I don't think there's any like hard rules on having to give something back. I think it's more of just, it's a special thing to share with people for sure.
I mean, honestly, when I leave the studio, we leave all the fucking cameras and mics and all that shit because I can replace that stuff.
Yeah.
And I have it insured. But all these get locked in a little safe that we got back there when I leave because you never know what's going to happen. And you
can't really
it's like these and these stone tools is what I lock up. So, man, I need to get like a display board or something because now we're starting to get so many that it's like we need to do something custom. That's so rad, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
These things mean a lot to me, man.
Of course.
I mean, I never served, but just with all my friends and stuff, and these are just so cool because I feel like it's a sign of respect to get these, man. Like, I really, and everybody that's given these to me are like friends of mine, like good friends, So these are super cool, man. Where should I put it? Right next to this one?
I think.
Badass. This one's pretty dope. This was given to me at Metallica by a Make-A-Wish.
Nice.
So that's why this little kid button's up there, but that was super cool.
No, you got a nice collection going here.
Yeah, man, it's growing by the podcast sometimes. So thank you, man. Those are rad.
Yeah, I've got all mine are in my man cave bar in the basement. I've got like a little case, like a glass case where they're in, and then I've got a troop plaque that they made a challenge coin slot in the plaque.
Oh,
it's really
nice.
badass. You'll have to check it out when you come by.
Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, I need to do that, man. Life has just been busy. You're starting a company.
Man.
You got not a newborn anymore now, right?
She's
how old is she now?
13 months.
Wow, that's right. Just had the first birthday, right?
Yeah,
that's super badass, man. Yeah, fatherhood is a game changer. That's all I gotta say, man. You got to narrow your hobbies down a little bit,
definitely.
And then it also kind of makes you get your ass in gear too. On a business side, you have a little bit more intention on all right, Friday night I can't just go to the bar with the boys every Friday, right? We're not playing pool or.
No, the time management has become a real thing.
Yeah,
and it's challenging. I'm not skiing 100 days a year. That's done.
Now you're changing diapers 100 days a year, bro.
Yeah. So it's awesome though. It's been the most rewarding experience, and it kind of gets you into this mindset of okay, now I'm not living for myself anymore. Marriage kind of did that, and now having a kid, it's all right, I got to get my shit together.
Yeah, and it's a bigger sense of purpose, I think, it has been for me. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but there's definitely a bigger sense of purpose and more intentionality, and just it's made me a better person, dude. Because you got to be that lead by example.
Yeah,
you have to
and you hope that's the case,
right?
Yeah,
and it's not that I haven't fucked up, because I've done that a lot, But it's honestly one of the things why I continue to do this podcast and try to be 100% authentic on it. I hope someday that my kids will go back and maybe listen, right? They're gonna have, a couple thousand hours with dad, hopefully.
Yeah.
After I'm gone, you never know what's gonna happen. So it's kind of a timestamp.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. It's been the best thing that ever happened to me. And I know that's a cliche thing to say, but it's made me a better person for sure.
Yeah.
Or this last couple weeks has been rough on that front, man. It's hard as a parent, especially, the last thing you want is your kids to see pure evil, right? And everybody in this community saw it a couple weeks ago, but I think that it's made them so much stronger, man. So much stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, hopefully, as horrible as all these events are, you'll see the community really unite, and people kind of wake up is a bad term to use probably, but just
I don't think people realize how vulnerable we are. Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
And it's fleeting, man. It can be taken away in a second.
Yeah.
And I think I get that from having, guys in like you that have served and been around a lot of that and around those communities. They have a better, their finger is more on the pulse of time management, business, and also being genuine, I think, and treating people pretty good, man, for the most part.
Yeah, there's just not really time for anything else.
No, because you never know, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and anybody can experience that, but definitely the veteran community, especially the operator community, has a really, really good sense of it, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. There's you get kind of woken up to the realities of, life is not always things that you can control. And you've got to cherish every part of it, and the people you surround yourself with and who you want to spend time with it's pretty important.
It's super important. That's another thing I've gotten out of podcasting here is it's definitely that. And I think it's so, and I talk about this ad nauseum, but it means so much to me, because where else can Richie Mitchell and I sit down with no interruptions from kids or like, and we have Tyler sitting here just on point, right? Like we don't even have to Google anything. Like Tyler's here to Google it, right?
Amazing,
like it's
man.
all about the conversation, and it's kind of an intentional thing, right? So yeah, it's rad, man. That's honestly what I get out of this. And I urge anybody, if you're thinking about starting it, like don't start it for the monetary purposes. Start it for this connection.
Yeah.
And if it's genuine, I mean, people will listen. You
For
know?
sure.
Yeah, I think people are craving that.
It's amazing to see the kind of rise of podcasting.
Yeah,
and
man.
what it's done. And it's really the only media that I'm consuming now. Like I've watched like little short clips of things, but it's hard to tune into all the mainstream stuff and
So much noise.
how negative things can get, and it's something that kind of forces you to think critically also. Like it's pretty hard to get in front of somebody, sit down and have a conversation for 3 hours and bullshit your way through it.
Right.
You know?
You can't do it.
You can't.
No.
Or hopefully you can, or you're probably pretty fucked up in the head.
Well, there's a few guys that have on like multiple podcasts, right? Like they're learning their lesson now, I would hope.
Yeah.
But it's almost like once you get into this long form conversation, there is no like, I mean, we do like some little like short clips, like you'll see
For
after
sure.
this, like, and it's cool and it drives people to go listen and they're fun to make creatively, but for the most part, like that 3 hour conversation that's where it's at, man. It's just, it's the best part of it, I think. And the coolest part about podcasting I love is like, if I don't like somebody, I can turn it off, dude. Or skip to the next one or skip to the next guy, you know, like, so I became like a huge fan of it. And not only, I mean, maybe like 7 years ago is when I started listening. And then by the 2-year mark, I was like, oh, I'm all in. I might have only been listening like a year to podcasts, but I didn't even know what it was like 6 years ago.
This is like 200 something.
So this will be 235.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of great conversations with people.
So many.
You know?
It's a community, man. Like, and I've built so many friendships at this table. Like, you and I wouldn't be friends if I didn't have this, honestly, because it's how I met the Parkers, and it's just like one friendship leads to another, and it's super cool, man. It's much more than just a podcast, or I've taken that approach with it. It's like, it's people that I genuinely want to have on. It's not about like how big their following is or what they've done or if they've been a SEAL or not. Like, it's not. I know that there's some podcasts that kind of thrive on that, but mine is just like,
I didn't even know you had
homies.
a podcast. And then we went to the bar after the bare knuckle fight, and we were having a great conversation. And then, I think I found out about your podcast. And
it was kind of hard. Like the first scenario that we were thrown into to meet was like, we're sitting ringside at bare knuckle boxing. It's like, you're not going to have this conversation.
No,
like,
not at all.
Yeah, cool. You know, team guy, meet other team guy. And it was kind of that sort of thing. But what a night, man. The Parkers are so rad. They're
amazing people.
They're such good people, man. Like, I'm so fortunate to have them in my tribe and be accepted into their tribe, you know, and we genuinely try to help each other. And I think that that's what it's about too, man.
I mean, all they do is help people. It's amazing. It really is. Like every time there's any sort of scenario that they can get their hands on to help out, they're there.
Oh man.
And
like
it's just such a rare breed nowadays, I think. And I have nothing but compliments to give them.
Yeah, Francesca too, man. She's just like, if there's a problem, she's going to solve it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's
You better be
go-getter.
careful what you bring to her. You better have some intention with, what you're doing.
And she'll call you out on bullshit immediately.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
I think she was a Douglas County, is it Douglas County Sheriff or Police? I think it's Sheriff's office.
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, Francesca. If I'm getting this wrong, you will let me know. But I think she was like, she was in law enforcement for like 20 some years or something.
Yeah, I think I don't know the story in detail, but I know she was doing some sort of police work with the Avalanche. That's how Scott met her, I think. But yeah,
I didn't know that. I learned
Scott,
something new.
Scott is awesome. And I grew up playing hockey.
That's
my
right.
whole childhood. So I knew about Scott Parker.
You're right.
Just
how could you not, man?
Into it, and
he was my favorite. So like having him on, I was a little starstruck moment. It's like there's a few people that I've had on that are just like that. I call them Colorado royalty, right? Because they really are. It's there's a few people, and Scott is definitely in that list of that Colorado royalty. It's like world champions in something, right?
Yeah.
We've had multiple world champions on, whether it's been in bull riding or, Super Bowl champs. It's been pretty fucking cool, man. But yeah, Scott's up there in that. So because we haven't really had a chance to like hang out, can we go down like your background a little bit? Like I know you're from like north, right? Like Michigan or something?
So southeast Michigan.
Okay.
A town called Canton.
Yeah.
And like between Ann Arbor and Detroit, it's kind of like the suburbs. It's basically like all the parents that worked in automotive kind of lived in the suburbs surrounding Detroit. And that was where my hometown was. So I lived there from childhood. I lived in Tennessee for a little bit before I could even remember anything. And then went through like elementary, middle, and high school in Michigan. So that was kind of my roots.
Growing up, like heavy, I mean, for you to transition into the SEAL teams and stuff, what was it like growing up? Were you guys in the outdoors? Because I know that you're like mountaineering, skiing, like all this crazy shit. Like you and Ben get pretty fucking wild, dude. Like you guys are like, yo, you should come hang. And I'm like, I don't know if I could hang. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, we, well, I guess it's kind of like two different points here. But now growing up, I wasn't really into outdoor stuff as much because there's not mountains in Michigan. Like I was in the ski club and we'd go to this place called Mount Brighton, which was a trash dump that they like blew snow on. And they made a little terrain park and
it was a literal dump?
Yeah, literally
no
a trash dump. Yeah.
That's awesome,
and that's
man.
like South Michigan skiing. Okay. We've got some stuff.
Did it have a chairlift or is it like the rope thing?
There was a couple like 2-person chairs that were real janky.
Okay.
And then a rope that, you'd grab on. You had to wear like leather palms over your gloves so you didn't disintegrate your gloves every time you went. And I was a snowboarder growing up.
Oh, look, Tyler's got it pulled up there, dude. Rad.
There it is.
Oh, they got a little terrain park and everything though, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a trash dump.
Nice. That's one way to build a mountain, dude. We got plenty of that shit.
But it was amazing. So that was like my experience on snow sports. And then we'd, snowmobile around in the farms and stuff. But we, I think it was high school was my first time coming out to Colorado and seeing the Rockies for the first time and actually getting to snowboard a little bit. And that like lit a fire for snowboarding. And then I transitioned into skiing in the military. It was kind of forced upon me.
Right.
And then I fell in love with skiing. And now I haven't snowboarded in probably 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. But
being forced into it is what made that love happen, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I was similar situation, but stand-up paddleboarding. Because when I moved to LA, I wanted to be a surfer so bad, dude. Like being a Colorado kid, I loved the beach, right? Because the grass is always greener on the other side, right? And I loved being in the ocean. So when I moved to California, like the very first thing I bought was a surfboard.
Oh, really?
Like, yep.
Yeah.
And I thought I could surf, and I tried for like 5 or 6 years, and I got fairly decent to where I could like catch waves, but I wasn't like Point Break, like carving the fucking waves and shit.
It's incredibly difficult.
It's so hard.
Surfing is not an easy sport.
And I'm a big dude, so it takes like a big board to float me.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting out there, dude, like literally neck deep because I was such a big guy, right? And just freeze your ass off in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Like bad.
Yeah.
Well, you know about that. Probably more than most people. Yeah.
Just getting tortured in the Pacific Ocean.
I had a friend of mine. He's like, hey, do you want to go stand up paddleboarding? And it was with a super like famous person, which was really cool that I got invited. And they were like, we're doing these downwinders. And I was like, well, I don't have one. They're like, well, you can borrow one. But I always thought that was like the old dudes out there on the stand up paddles. Yeah. And then after that, I was like, this is so sick.
It is.
You're not like in the water.
Yeah.
You can paddle into waves. It was awesome. But it's funny. I kind of got forced into it too.
And so I guess backing up the second part of that question you asked me, because one was skiing and something was with Ben.
Yeah, well, it's
And
funny because you guys are so generous with me, man. Like I love you both so much, and my time is so limited. But there's been several times where you're like, hey, let's go hit the mountain or let's go whatever. And I'm like, there's no way I could hang with these guys because I look at your Instagram posts or something and you guys are like doing high alpine, backcountry, like some wild shit, dude. Like,
yeah,
some of the photos and stuff that you guys have are epic.
Yeah,
like pull up Ben Davis's Instagram. Richie's you have a personal Instagram, right? I think.
Yeah. It's actually hilarious how Ben and I, so we were at SEAL Team 4 together.
Okay.
And we kind of knew of each other. Like he was that guy in the other troop that liked mountain stuff. And we never really got a chance to connect because when you're in different troops, like you're on different training cycles and you're never really around each other. And I was teaching for that advanced training course at the time. And we were out in Red Rocks for a trip. And I get this text like, hey, do you want to climb epinephrine? And epinephrine's a big route.
Is that outside of Vegas?
It's outside of Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. And that route is like notorious for people getting rescued off of. And it's a bigger undertaking than people give it credit for, I think, a lot. And it's not like incredibly difficult. Like
it's called epinephrine. Huh?
Epinephrine, yeah.
Isn't that a medication? I think it's
is. It's like adrenaline.
Oh, right. Yeah. Norepinephrine. Yeah, that's right.
And so he texts me and he's like, hey, do you want to go do this route? And I'm like, well, I've never climbed with this guy. And this is like 16 pitches of climbing. Like if we're going to do it in a day, we're going to start at like 3 a.m. and we're going to finish at like hopefully 8 o'clock at night.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're on the face the whole time?
Day. The whole day.
Holy shit.
And, I
pull up this rock face.
You kind of have to have trust
epinephrine, Red
in
Rocks,
people that you're going to climb something like that
1,000%.
with. And all I knew was like, this guy rock climbs, he's in the team. So there's obviously a level of trust that's automatic.
Yeah.
But I've never climbed with him. And I was like, all right, man, let's do it. So he flies out to Vegas. We link up the night before, drive out to the parking lot, and we just like slept in the parking lot on the ground, on some ground pads, and then got up at 3 a.m. and started this thing. And we got it done. We finished it. I think we got back to the car like 8:30 at night. But there's
so
like
crazy
400 feet of sustained like 5'9" chimney climbing. I don't know how familiar you are with
I'm not at all. Yeah.
And
like the only climbing I've done is in the steel, like up in like the Pepsi Center. I guess it's now Ball Arena. Like I've been up in those like catwalks and steels. Yeah.
Style.
Not even really rope access because a lot of times you're going up on a catwalk and then you're walking out onto the beam and clipping it. So it's like, that's like the closest I've done. And then some like indoor rock gyms. And as a kid, we used to boulder around here. There's a few little boulder spots, but nothing like that. And I've had a lot of guys, that are into it. I've just never really I was never really that great at bouldering. So I was like, I don't think rock climbing's I'm a big dude, like, and not very limber. Like, I think I got more this last couple of years, I've gotten more limber just for the sheer fact of like training jiu-jitsu. But now I'm not doing that as much. So I'm not stretching as much. I should pick that back up because I felt great. Like, getting some extra mobility is always good, right?
Way to stay in shape. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu will keep you.
But you guys are fucking crazy. I mean, like I have a matrix board in the garage and it is a goal of mine to like get to where I can do like some 2-finger pull-ups or like shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
in climbing, you don't really need a tremendous amount of upper body strength.
Really?
There's a lot of like skinny dudes that aren't that strong. Like in the gym, they wouldn't be like lifting heavy weight.
Right.
It's a lot more technique and just like footwork and knowing how to position your body and using like the skeletal structure of your body to hang on to things rather than like pulling on things. So the better your technique is, the less muscle strain. It's a ton of finger strength.
Right.
And like stuff that you'll
grip
develop
strength,
in your tendons over time, but you don't need to be like incredibly strong.
Really?
To be okay at climbing. Like if you want to be, professionally climbing, you got to be strong all around. But to just like get into it. It's just a lot of footwork and technique and stuff that and just time on rock.
To me, it would feel like, or any time that I bouldered, like the feeling of like just that pucker factor, you know, like when you're about to do something crazy, like, do you ever get to a point where you're like relaxed, or is it just that intense, like of hanging on, or is it like a flow state?
You really don't want to be like in any sort of state of stress.
That's why I suck at it.
Intensive, like you've got to, because it's long. You know, you might be climbing for 10 hours straight.
It's a fucking marathon, dude. That's an ultra marathon.
Yeah, you're not like it's not like jumping on a pull-up bar and repping them out. You know, you're
right.
This is a long process, and you need to stay relaxed and be efficient with your movement. And there's no like dynamic. You see that a little bit in bouldering, you know, where there's like intense movements. But if you're doing that on like pitch 10 of a trad climb, that's not good.
Right.
You
probably can only last so long, right? Yeah.
But
do you get kind of into a flow, or is it, because I watched like the closest that I've seen to it, which is an amazing documentary, but I'd be curious to see what you think of it, is that Alex Honnold. Yeah. What's the name of it? It was on Nat Geo. Free Solo.
Yeah. That's an insane feat.
That documentary gave me fucking anxiety.
Yeah.
Just watching that.
What he's doing is so far beyond what.
Like the free climbing shit is insane.
So he's free soloing, which is where you're climbing with no ropes. Free climbing, you're climbing the rock with just your hands and feet, but you can still use protection, placing equipment into the rock and clipping it, and that's what's going to catch you if you take a leader fall. And that's like free climbing. I think a lot of people get that mixed up. But
so is that the first guy up the rock, right? Is kind of the most.
So that's, you're on lead at that point. So
you may fall 30 or 40 feet.
You can, depending on how far apart your protection's placed. And, you know, in a perfect scenario, like when we're teaching the course for the guys, we kind of set like a rough standard of like, hey, if you can get a piece of gear in like every 6 feet or so, that's going to keep you very safe. Sometimes that's not possible depending on the rock. Like there's tons of routes where you might have to go 20, 30 feet before you can get a piece of gear in.
Plus it's more shit you got to carry, right?
Yeah, and you're going to fall. So like say I go 10 feet above a piece of gear and I fall, I'm going to fall 20 feet plus the rope stretch, plus whatever slack is being introduced by the guy who's belaying me, who's going to catch me. So that 10 foot, if you're 10 feet above that piece of gear, you might fall 30 feet, 35 feet. Shit. So you don't want to fall on lead. It's not like I really try to avoid.
You climb, Tyler? Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, but no, I mean what Alex Honnold is doing.
I mean, look at that photo, dude. That is fucking insane.
And you know, I'll go out and solo like the flat irons and stuff, but that's like 5'4" or 5'5", and you know I'm wearing running shoes and I can maneuver up that. Like if you fall, there's still really high consequence. There's like this philosophy on like risk management where you kind of weigh, okay, what's the probability of the fall and what's the consequence of falling? So if the probability is extremely low, then you can take a little more risk and like how far you'll space your gear out and, you know, and like that's soloing the flat irons. The probability of me falling off of that is incredibly low. So I'm willing to take the risk even though the consequence is high. You kind of weigh those two things, and then as soon as the consequence gets high and the probability gets to like even low, then it's like, okay, I should probably have a rope now.
Right.
And start introducing protection and figuring out different techniques to move through the mountains safely.
And this is something that you've instructed, right, for quite a while as well.
Yeah. That's a whole other story we can get into.
We'll dive into that. Let's bring it back to you and Ben. Yeah. So I guess we skipped a big part of you growing up. So you grew up in Michigan, minimal skiing. You come to Colorado high school. Did you start climbing then, or were you climbing before?
No. So I graduated high school in Michigan and then almost immediately moved to Colorado. My dad was in automotive. He took a job out here, and then our whole family moved out to Colorado. And that was 2012. And then, I was like out climbing around in the mountains, but I had no idea what I was doing. I had no like formal instruction. I had no one that had climbed before to teach me. Like I was just being an idiot out, scrambling around on rocks. Like I didn't know how to identify a route or do anything, but I enjoyed it. I just liked being in the mountains. And then when I checked into SEAL Team 4, there was this mountain leaders course that the Marine Corps runs. And I was a new guy, and they're like, hey, does anybody want to go spend 8 weeks with the Marines? That's how they pitched it. And a lot of the older guys were like, nah, like, I'd rather not do that. I'm like, what is it? And they're like, oh, it's this climbing school with the Marines for 8 weeks. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, send me.
Yeah.
So 3 of us ended up going to that course, and I got like formal instruction in Marine Corps fashion on how to climb and how to just, move through the mountains. We did a little bit of like traditional climbing, a little bit of mountaineering, a little bit of alpine climbing and mountaineering. And
do the Marines have a mountain division, or is that kind of like part of their MARSOC, like special warfare stuff? Or
this was actually, they do in different capacities, but this was through like the traditional Marine Corps. It wasn't a MARSOC program. Really? And we had like 3 or 4 recon Marines, which are not MARSOC.
Yeah.
And then we had like 5 foreign exchange guys that came over, like from the Polish GROM and IDF and some other units. And then a bunch of infantry Marine officers and some infantry Marines that were pretty high up. Like all the infantry Marines that were selected to go to that course were like E6.
So this is like a specialty school
for them. Yeah. Yeah. And we got a couple seats in it. And it was a privilege for me to be there. And it was awesome. It was an amazing experience. But
that's so rad.
It was, I was sleeping in a barracks and there, which is totally
Did you party
normal.
with those dudes?
Yeah. We'd go out on the weekends and stuff. And
that's one thing Marines know how to do is
fucking
party.
They're great dudes. I still have some friendships from the people I met in that course.
That's awesome.
It was a great time. We'd go up to like Lake Tahoe and go like Donner Pass. I don't know if you're familiar with that area, but super cool. We'd climb up there, went to Yosemite for a weekend, and we kind of just got to bounce all over California. And we like finished the course doing Mount Shasta.
That part of California, man, like Northern California is fucking
gorgeous.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's like a different planet almost. Like,
yeah.
And the mountains are so beautiful, man. Like it's incredible there. And then you have the whole redwood thing. Like, I mean, Northern California is amazing.
It is. Yeah. And the Sierra Nevada is amazing.
And the skiing or snowboarding there too, like Mammoth and all those spots. Like, it's incredible.
I got to ski Mount Whitney a couple years ago.
Nice.
That was cool. Just to tick off, like, ski the highest 14er in the U.S.
Yeah.
And it was horrible skiing, though. It was like these... so the route's called the Mountaineers Route. It's like a route people climb. It's not the traditional hike. But the snow was like through this crazy freeze-thaw cycle, and it started making these like sun cups. So they were like hardened little holes in the snow. So
it's
it wasn't
like potholes almost.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a smooth surface, and it was like rock hard. And that's what we were skiing down.
Sounds
and
awesome.
It's like 40 degrees.
Human cheese grater,
just
dude.
Like, just vibrating down the entire time. Like you couldn't even really make turns. It was terrible. But it was just cool to like get up there, summit, and ski down.
That's rad.
The conditions were terrible. But
did you guys skin in or snowshoe?
We skinned in for as soon as we could. Like we hiked with skis on our back for a little bit, and then we skinned in to there's like an alpine lake right below that big couloir, and then you climb it. So you put crampons on and have a couple axes and walk up the couloir, climb up. It's not really climbing, but and then the last little section to the top is a little bit more, it's probably 4th class in snow. And then we summited and came down. But it was a cool experience.
That's pretty rad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that country's, it's special, man. Like that and northern Montana are 2 spots like in the U.S. that you need to see.
Yeah.
Or BC even is like some of those spots up there, like Banff.
Sure.
And
I've never been to Banff.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go. For you especially, You're probably going to be all over those fucking things.
I really want to see it. It looks amazing.
Have you done anything in the Tetons at all, or?
A little bit of skiing out there on one of the passes, and then I think there's this place called like Death Valley or something.
Okay.
That I did a ski tour in. That might not be the name of it, but it's been a while. I didn't do anything crazy there. It was just like low angle backcountry skiing stuff.
Nice.
But I still haven't done the Grand Teton. I know Ben goes up there all the time.
Does he?
I want to do.
Yeah, it's not too far from here. I mean,
Yeah.
8 hours or something, or 6 hours maybe.
But,
Yeah, man, there's just like, those are like my 3 favorite, like, we have cool shit here, right? Like, don't get me wrong, like, we have some incredible stuff, but those are like those are all like different terrains. Like the Tetons are just beautiful. It's almost like, and then going into like Glacier Park and stuff like that is incredible. But Banff is like next level, man. You feel like you're like in Switzerland or something. Have you ever done anything in the Alps at all, or been over there?
Yeah, a ton.
Switzerland or Italy?
Or, so
man,
that
so
was
badass.
I was really fortunate. I got to deploy to Europe twice.
Really?
Yeah, and that was, at the time it was kind of like, we were just getting off all these rotations to Afghanistan, and that's why I wanted to go to the East Coast, because that's where I thought I was going to deploy to. And then when I get over to Team 4, they're like, yeah, we're not going there anymore. And at first it was, really heartbreaking, because you're like training and doing all this stuff, and you kind of get in your own head about, I'm going to go to war as soon as I get to this team. And they're like, yeah, you're deploying to Europe. And you could imagine like what the guys' response to that was like. It wasn't received like positively.
Sure.
And I'm a new guy at the time, so I'm just kind of like going with the flow of, whatever's going on. But anyway, we go to Europe, and we do a bunch of training with different units over there. And it depends on the country. Like if you're in Eastern Europe, you're just kind of doing a lot of like you're training other people mostly. And then when you go work with like the Scandinavian countries, they kind of have like an equivalent special operations unit, you get like embedded and you train together. And you kind of like teach each other things, and you pass off tactics, and you learn from each other.
That's cool.
And it was amazing, man. Like we got to spend 5 weeks with the Norwegians, like their SEAL equivalent unit, the MJK. And that was
Norway is fucking incredible too. That's one spot I left off the list, dude.
Yeah.
That place is
It was one
insane.
of the coolest experiences of my life, honestly. Like looking back on it, we land there, and it's really expensive to buy beer.
Dude, a cheeseburger when I was there, and this was like 15 years ago, was like $50 or something for
Really?
like if you were in like, I think that must have been Oslo.
Maybe. I was like in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, but like anywhere in the city, dude, like the most expensive spot to go in Europe by far. I think,
It was really expensive. So we were, stationed out of Germany. It was like our main HQ or headquarters kind of. And we loaded up an ISU just full of beer, like to the top. So like a container of German beer.
Fuck yeah.
In these like crates. And we fly the C-130 into Norway, and we're like, here you go. Like, here's beer for the whole 5 weeks. And
no way.
Yeah. So that was like our gift to the Norwegians for
They must have been
us.
fucking stoked. Yeah.
So that was just a good way to like start the trip off. It's just like, hey, here's your ISU worth of German beer. And then
was that something that you guys were able to do on your own, or was it like planned by the?
There was a little bit of logistics behind making that happen, and talking to the flight crew, and all those things. But
a few cases fell off. That fucking skid or whatever. Yeah.
So we land there, and then they put us through like 3 weeks. That's where I learned to ski.
Really?
So it was like 2-3 feet of powder. There's no like chair lifts running, and it's dark. We were there in winter, so you get like a sunrise into sunset.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get like an hour of that, and then by the time we left, we were getting like 3 hours of light. But we didn't see the sun the entire time we were there. And so we're like skiing up on headlamps, and you had to transition from skinning to skiing every time you wanted to do a run. And they were just teaching all of us how to ski and the technique. So in some ways it was really good because it like forced you to really pay attention.
Plus you're operating at night, right? Most
yeah.
of the time
Well,
anyways.
the beginning was just like learn how to ski. You know,
Okay.
there was no like operating or like there's no night vision or anything. It was just like headlight. Like you need to learn how to actually ski before we can like do any sort of tactics or,
right.
you know, maneuvers or whatever. So, yeah, we spent a couple weeks just like backcountry skiing every single day until guys got proficient enough to like move on to the next thing. So I got like, you know, one-on-one instruction from these amazing skiers. And then I just kind of fell in love with it and then got like decent at like skiing powder pretty fast. And then, yeah, we did some ice climbing. We did like a 10-day snow machine course. It was
Sweet.
amazing. Yeah, they set that thing up really well. They basically have like the guy who's in charge of their mobility program. He has like a huge monitor, and all the machines have like a Blue Force tracker so they can see, you know, where you are. And then they set up like a land navigation course at the end. So they were like, okay, here's your 5 points. They're all like 5 clicks apart, and there's no trails. And you're going to, like, you and one other guy, so 2 machines, and you're going to just like go hit all these points and maneuver around in the backcountry and like figure out how to create your routes. And then if you're stuck for more than like 3 hours, then the guy will, you know, get on a machine and come out and figure out how to do a recovery.
Chew your ass probably.
But he'll just like, you know, get you unfucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that, and
that part sounds fun.
Yeah, and then just like shooting on skis and how to use your poles, and just like maneuvering around in the snow, and it was just so cool. And they're like one of the best units in the world at winter warfare. Like they really are.
I mean,
they
that's
live
pretty
it,
much,
you
yeah.
know? It's -20 every
Polar
day.
bears and shit.
Yeah.
Did you get to see any wildlife while you were
Yeah,
there?
a lot of we ate reindeer.
Really?
I had like a mink whale while I was up
Really?
there. Yeah, which was really good. I never really thought I'd
I mean,
eat
that's
whale,
all
but-
the fucking Eskimos eat,
Yeah.
dude. Or, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like this bright red
One of my
meat.
bucket lists is to go back up there. I'm so lucky, man. I got to go on some rock and roll stuff like in the summer. Mm-hmm. I've never been there in the winter, but I want to go in the fall and photograph polar bears up there because it's so badass, man. They're just like the polar bears there are like super, super white. And you have to go in on these like icebreaker boats.
Yeah.
And then I think you like Zodiac in my buddy Jason Loftus from Untamed Images. Pull up Untamed Images on Instagram. Dude, this guy is the most incredible wildlife photographer you've ever seen, dude. Like I was looking at one of his photos that he just posted the other day, and I was like, what is going on with this mountain? It looks like gold. And I don't know if it was just because I was tired and looking at it, but it ended up, I'll show you. Yeah, so that's from Norway. Like, look at the colors, right? So the polar bears there get like pretty white, which I guess like the Arctic polar bears are almost more of like a brown because there's more like dirt and stuff. But these guys stay like pretty white. And just all the color, like you have, it's a photographer's dream, dude. Like you got red and gold and green, and he's got so many badass. Scroll down a little bit. It was this alligator one. So go to that one full clip. So I was looking at that in the middle of the night, and I was like, what is that a mountain that I'm looking at or something? Super cool. Little caiman or something. This dude's next level, man. Like he's been a mentor of mine in photography. Like if I ever, which sucks because I haven't picked up my camera since the last time he's been in, honestly. And now like we have the elk running around here. So we'll probably have Jason back on in November. He always comes out here to shoot some stuff.
What is that salmon? That is wild.
Isn't that cool? This guy is, I can spend hours on his page looking at the same exact photos.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just like next level artist, man.
That picture just reminds me of being in Alaska.
So rad. Dude, the Norwegians are they're fucking cool people, man. Like,
They're so cool.
just that whole like kind of Viking culture. Like we did this one festival up there. I was there with the Killers.
Oh, wow.
And I think Lady Gaga was there. She was like performing I think they were the 2 headliners or something like that at the time. And this is a while back. This was like 2008. So before she started making movies and performed at like the Super Bowl and stuff. But we set up on this, the festival grounds were on this old World War II Army base. And it was an American base. And it was like all these like house cottage. It was almost like farm cottages. And those were our backstage, like the green rooms, right? So they'd just give you a whole like cottage. So one was the Killers, the other one was like Gaga's.
That's awesome.
And we're just partying between, like the crew's in there, everybody's like hanging out. But then they had all these crazy bunkers that went from like house to house. And I almost missed the gig, dude. Because I was down there and there was guys that, you know, during World War II that would carve like in the like the wooden beams and stuff in there, like messages to their kids or to their wife or their girlfriend or, dude, it's crazy. You could just read all this stuff. So it's like, there's that sort of like history. And I mean, these bunkers went for fucking miles, dude. We almost got lost in one of them. They're like mine shafts or something, man. It was super cool.
Yeah.
And trenches. And then they would pop out to like these vantage points where you had like kind of high ground. I'm like, dude, I wonder how many guys were getting after it. Like, right here. Like, so cool.
That's,
but then the Norwegians were super cool because they were kind of like giving us tours, like, oh, come check this out. But then we played the festival. We got done. It's like 2:00 in the morning or something. We didn't realize we were there on a holiday. And I think, Tyler, you may have to look this up. It was called like Dahmer Summer or something like that.
okay.
And basically everybody just sets these bonfires. And I think it's kind of like a To Remember the Dead type holiday. And they build the biggest fires that they can.
Wow.
And it looks like Norway's on fire, man. Like it's just these huge bonfires. And I don't know if it was just where we were at. And fuck, I wish I could remember.
Wow, well, there's a massive fire.
Yeah, Dom Summer, right? So they build like these structures and shit, dude. But they stay up all night just around these fires and just fucking partying, dude. And it's hard to find a dark-haired. It's hard to find a female there that isn't like blonde hair and blue eyes, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
That's
You're
all of
like,
them.
yeah. So guys like you and me stick out like sore thumbs, dude. We're like, we're the rock stars, you know? Dark hair, dark eyes.
But yeah, I mean, that was, you know, one of the other amazing things about being in Europe was just like the history.
So crazy.
You know, we spent some time up in Norway, or no, not Norway, Normandy.
Oh yeah,
and,
France.
You know, got to see like Omaha Beach.
So crazy, right?
And like, you know, go to the cemetery and see all of that and see like the patriotism for America in that part of France is still like very prevalent.
Dude, they've been our biggest allies for
yeah. But I mean,
as long as America's
like,
been
if you're
around.
like in Paris, it's not the same.
No.
Like
it's like
you know, or
Americans.
Chamonix, you know, or like some of these other places that I went to in France. It's not like they're really proud still and like thankful, and it was like some of the most humbling steps I've ever taken. Just
it's
walking
so crazy,
around that
man.
place and just thinking.
There's
about,
spots like that here, you know, like Gettysburg. Like I don't know if we've talked about it on mic, but like it's almost kind of like that hollow ground, like feeling. And I think I don't know if it's because you know what like took place there and like how many people, you know, met the maker there, or you know. It's just it's breathtaking, man. Like there was a moment when I visited Normandy and Omaha Beach where I was just like, I got fucking emotional, man. I was like, and I don't know why. I don't get emotional very often. Like it takes a lot, but I was just like, holy shit. Like you can feel it. Yeah. You can feel it.
Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah, they do like a jump there every year.
Yeah.
Like on the
I would have loved to gone.
Yeah.
I
didn't get to do that, but we've got a bunch of guys that they'll like fly a C-130 overhead, and then they'll have a bunch of dudes jump out with like the American flag and like land on the beach. It's really
so
cool.
Rad. Well, they do a ceremony there too, I think, where they take like, I think it's down to like 2 or 3 dudes that are still alive that were survivors of that, you know?
Really?
day, yeah. And I think it's down to like 2 or 3. I know Jack Carr does a bunch with it. Like he's one of the dudes.
Left.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's so cool. Could you imagine if we had podcasting like, you know, post World War II or something? That would be so rad to go back and like listen.
In here, that would be amazing.
There's a bunch, man, that I need to really start hammering out, because like to take it back to that timestamp era, man, like that type of warfare was so different, right? Than what we're doing now. Like we're like fucking light years ahead of.
Yeah, it's a scary time now for totally different reasons.
Right.
You know? Yeah, like I don't know.
Just all the drone stuff.
The drones
are
so terrifying,
crazy,
man.
right?
Yeah. It's a different time for sure.
All right, so we got to rewind a little bit. But before we do that, because we were on the subject of mountaineering, did you ever get to chain with the 10th Mountain guys here at all, or?
Well, not 10th Mountain, but I did get to do another like 2-month course with the Army.
Awesome.
So that is run by, it used to be called SOAMs. I think they've changed the name of it, but it's like the Special Operations Army Mountaineering School. And that's run by the Special Forces units. And they bring in guys from all the different groups. And I got to go. I was incredibly lucky to go to that school. There's not a lot of slots, not a lot of SEALs get to attend that. But so I was the only SEAL. There was like 2 Delta guys and a bunch of SF guys.
That must have been fun, huh?
Yeah.
You probably caught some serious shit
cool,
out of
man.
that.
Yeah, there's actually funny stories. The guy that runs the school now, we're still friends, but he, when I was, you know, kind of like got selected to go to that, my boss at the time was just like, hey, man, if I'm sending you to this, like, you better come back with like the honor man, which is like the highest performing person in the school. I was like, so that's my goal, you know, go to this thing and crush it. And at the beginning, like one of the first test-ins, you do the Manitou incline.
Okay.
You know, in the springs. And
they just did it for 9/11, I think.
Yeah.
This year, yeah.
So you're wearing 3-season boots, and they set some time standard. I can't remember what it is, but
20 minutes or something stupid.
No, it's not terrible, but it wasn't like passing. Like I had to win. You know, like if you want to get honor man, you're gonna win. Like you need to be like
the top
performance in every single test gate. And so we do this thing, and I take off, and we're like 15 minutes in. I'm in first, and I'm like putting out as hard as I can, you know, like redlining. And this guy passes me, and he like gives me knucks. He's like, "Good job, man." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you," you know. And so he passes me, and I'm like trying to stay with him. And I stayed with him for probably 2 more minutes, and my heart rate was like 200 at this point. You're like,
holy shit.
I was like, okay, I can't sustain this. Like, this is impossible. So I back it off to like a pace that's fast, but something I could sustain to at least make it to the top. And the gap just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I look behind me, and there's nobody behind me. And this guy's just like gone. I was like, holy shit.
It's like a fucking Terminator or some shit.
So anyway, we get to the top. He beats me by like 3 minutes. And I turn around. The next guy came in like 2 or 3 minutes after me.
No shit.
And I was like, hey, man, you want to be partners? Like, because you've got to like pick a climbing partner right at the beginning.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I'm the only SEAL. So it wasn't like I had another guy to. You know,
was he
He was an SF guy.
SF guy?
Yeah, former Marine, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, he was like, yeah, man, that sounds great. So... And he was actually newer to climbing at the time. And now he's done all this crazy stuff. He's gone to Mount Everest, and he's done a bunch of things. But yeah, we became partners like right at the beginning. He ended up getting honor man. The guy was an absolute stud. Like just crushed everything. And it was so fun to just be partners with him and like teach him kind of how to climb. And we learned a ton from each other. And it was an awesome experience. I really enjoyed my time there.
That's rad.
Yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit. So you moved to Colorado. What was your introduction to like military service, or what made you want to go into the Navy? And then how did you discover that you wanted to go into like special operations and go like the SEAL route? Because I mean, I think it's not the path that most people choose, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a long one.
Okay. Well, we got all the time in the world. Do you have to be out of here by a certain time?
No, not at all.
Okay. This could be a long podcast. Tyler, what time you got to leave?
I'm good.
All right.
So I grew up in Michigan, and I was kind of a punk kid, and I played a lot of sports.
That's why we get along.
Yeah, I played football and hockey and lacrosse. Hockey was my main sport at the time, but I was always like into physical sports and kind of like that guy that if somebody cheap shotted you on my team, like I was jumping off the bench to go fight the guy. Let's go. Like that was just kind of my personality, and like that got me into trouble a lot.
Enforcer, right?
Yeah. But I'm like a skinny, like I was never, like I'm not Scott Parker. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
that guy is.
There's levels of enforcer and levels of skill. And I was playing like, varsity hockey in high school. Mm-hmm. Like if you're going to go, if you have any shot at going to the NHL, you're not playing high school hockey in Michigan. You're playing AAA, or you're playing juniors, or that's just not the level of hockey that you need to be playing at if you want to like make a professional career or even a college career out of it. But anyway, yeah. So I was the enforcer for like that level of skill.
Still fun though.
It's still fun. Yeah. But that was just like kind of me as a kid, Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I didn't do very well in high school with grades. Like I just really struggled with any topic that I wasn't interested in. I just like I'm not really going to put effort towards this. And I was really into cars. And so like my senior year of high school, I took advanced auto. So I was in the auto shop for 3 hours a day. I had this like 92 Fox body that was an absolute piece of shit. It was like 12 different colors and had body panels from like all different Mustangs from junkyards, and the floorboards were rusted out and the driver's seat would like vibrate around. But I would like sell things to upgrade my car. So I met this guy on my football team, and he was selling like Beats headphones that were fake. And I ended up like buying a pair from him, and I'm like, these are pretty good. And they were like $30. I was like, how do you get these? And he's like, well, I got this, this guy that sells them to me for like $10 a unit, and I just sell them for like 30. And I was like, I could do that. So I'm like saving up my money, working at the grocery store, and I end up buying like 50 pairs of headphones from this guy.
No shit.
I get my brother involved, and he's like helping me sell them. And this is like kind of the early entrepreneurial stages, that I went through. And I make all this money, and then I'm like just using all the cash to just like make my Fox body cooler.
Oh, yeah.
And
what year was that?
That was my car?
Yeah, your car.
It was a 92.
Okay.
Yeah, so right before they ended the Fox bodies. And then I ended up getting like a bad batch of headphones. And like these things just kept breaking, and like the quality was trash. So like
so they were just beat.
Yeah, and then all these guys were like, give me my money back. I'm like, I can't, And like,
you see these wheels?
Yeah. So, that was like my first lesson on like, okay, I bought a ton of inventory, and now like I can't move any of it.
Right.
This is a problem.
Nicotine?
I got one in,
okay.
Actually. But yeah, so that's just kind of a funny story of how the entrepreneurial journey starts. But then I come out to Michigan, or I come out to Colorado after high school, and my dad, he was in automotive, and 2008 happened, and the company he was working for was kind of, he could see the writing on the wall of like, this ain't gonna last. So he started looking for work and found a gig out here with an electric vehicle drivetrain company. And
oh no shit, that early on, huh?
Yeah, it was early on. He was in that space for a long time actually, but yeah, so he took that job, and also it was like a way for him to just get me out of Michigan. Like I was just kind of hanging out with and all my friends actually, looking back, have like created amazing careers for themselves. And like, even though we were all like punk kids, they've all done incredible things, and
it's
cool to see that, because you wouldn't think, like, looking at us in high school, that we would have done what we've all done. But so yeah, I get to Colorado, and I'm going to community college out here, and same shit. Like, I just wasn't taking school seriously, and my dad kind of finally was at the breaking point. I'm like, look, dude, you are not going to just like ride the coattails of what I like allow you to do. Like, you've got 3 months to figure out what you're going to do. Like, I'm not paying for you to go fuck off at school. That's done. And it was, and like, you're out of the house. That was basically like, there's your scenario.
Right.
So I'm working at this like restaurant, bussing tables, and, you know, making basically minimum wage at the time, and kind of said in like, this ain't going to work. You know, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And that's kind of when the thought of joining the military entered my mind. And I didn't grow up with anyone around me that was like from special operations. Or
so your dad didn't serve? Or
my dad's from Canada. My mom's from Mexico.
Okay.
And, you know, they're both immigrants, and they built a life for themselves here and worked their asses off. And they were just like fed up with my bullshit. And so I end up going back to Michigan, and a really good friend of mine had aspirations to become a SEAL. And I started talking to them about like joining the military. And he was like, dude, if you're going to do that, like, you should look into the SEAL teams. And I had no idea what this was. You know, I'm just like this naive 19-year-old, or 18 at the time.
What year was this?
This is like 2012.
So we had been at war for a minute, dude, like crushing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or getting after it, rather. Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, a punk kid with like no awareness of anything other than like 9/11. And yeah, there's some guys overseas that are doing crazy stuff. And I just wasn't in tune with what was going on. Mm-hmm. And so he introduces me to this concept. And I come back to Colorado and like pick up a couple books, and I just blast through these things in like a day.
So you're going down the rabbit hole at this
I start
point,
going
right?
down the rabbit hole. And then I watched like the Class 234 YouTube series that like kind of documents buds. And I was like, this is something I think I want to, you know, take a swing at. And then I go tell my dad, like, hey, I'm going to go talk to a Navy recruiter about becoming a Navy SEAL. And he was like, okay, like, you know what the attrition rate of that is? Like, a lot of people want to do that, and they don't succeed. Just kind of a reality check. Like, hey, listen, little kid, you know, you got to understand what you're about to sign up for. And but they were supportive of it. They were like, dude, sure, if that's what you want to do, go for it. So yeah, it happened fast. I go to the recruiter, I tell them, they're like, hey, you got to do this like a physical test. And I was fit at the time. So I go and take the ASVAB, did really well on that. Like, I wasn't a dumb kid. I just didn't apply myself in school. Right. And so I scored really well on that, and then did the physical entry tests and did really well on that. And then I think it was like less than 6 weeks. And it was like, okay, you've got a contract. Like, you have a chance to go to Butts. And boom, like, sign the line, go to MEPS, do the thing. And then I was off into the Navy.
So you got fast-tracked.
Yeah, for an opportunity to go.
Yeah. You know? How old were you at that point? Were you 19?
I was
20?
19.
Okay.
Yeah, I just turned 19.
So almost exactly where they want you, right?
Yeah.
Like, they want you. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the average age is, but attrition rate for guys under 21 is very high. It's even higher than what it is for, like, I feel like your most opportune time to be going through that is probably right after college, like 23, 24, when you're still in like your physical prime.
You kind of set
you grew up a little bit. You know, you're not like a child still.
Right.
You kind of have a little bit of life experience.
Yeah.
And
plus you get that second growth spurt. I think there's like, there's almost like a second, I don't know, period there where you get like man strength and shit, like at 24 or 25. Like those guys, you watch them go. There's a reason why they play college football and then go into the NFL. It's like the next fucking level of manhood, right?
Yeah. And so, then I go off to the Navy and go to boot camp. And the boot camp was set up at the time where they created these things called 800 divisions. So it was like everyone in your boot camp group was going to either SEAL training or SWIC training.
Really?
And there's 200 guys, and I'm looking around and I'm just like, this skinny, 19-year-old kid, and some of these former D1 athletes, just like college wrestler, college swimmer, college water polo, Naval Academy. Well, not yet, but I'm just looking around like, holy shit, what am I doing here? And so we go through boot camp. Boot camp like kicked my ass because you have to do all these tedious tasks. Like I'm there because I'm like, I want to go to SEAL training. I don't want to fold sheets for 5 hours and listen to this guy yell at me about whatever.
You have to be, there's one commonality I think in a lot of troublemakers, and that's you have to have interest in something, because if you don't have interest in something, that's when you start making trouble, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how I was as a kid. Like
exactly.
Let's see what the center block does to this window,
Yeah, boot camp ended not physically, but mentally for me. Boot camp was more challenging for me than going through SEAL training.
Right,
as
because
crazy
all the
as
stupid
that sounds,
shit you got to do.
Shit. I was like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here,
Right?
And then just standing at attention for hours at a time, and just this tedious crap that they have you do.
But you have to pass that.
You have to
go
do it.
on to the next
if you
evolution.
Don't do this,
right?
you can't even go to training. So, looking back, that was a horrible time. And so then they send you to 2 months of BUDS prep. It's still in Great Lakes, Illinois. And then you go off to Coronado. And then they have a pre-BUDS phase. It's a few weeks. And then first phase kicks off. And then... it was just one step at a time, but I think for me, it was the culmination of all these things that I had done in my childhood. And I guess backing up a little bit, in sports, my senior year of hockey, so I had played on the varsity team for freshman, sophomore, junior year, and we got a new coach, and I was a cocky kid, and I skipped the summer workouts. I was working out on my own, and I showed up to start the season, and the coach did not take kindly to that at all, rightfully so, And but I was fit, and I was like, hey, I've been on the team for 3 years. It's not like I slacked off. I'm here ready to play, and he benched my ass every game. So I ended up quitting, and then. That was I'd never really quit anything in my life up to that point. And then going into BUDS and having my younger brother who's looking up to me at the time. And I think it was those events that brought this mentality into training of this is all I got.
You couldn't fail at this point,
this is
right?
the last opportunity that I have to prove to myself and to my family and to all my friends and everyone that knows me that I'm not a failure. And I was
so it was more accountability than
yeah. And I was just I'd rather die here than quit. Nothing that they do to me is gonna make me quit from this training. And I mean, there was times where you're holy shit, this is not chill at all.
Yeah.
And it's savage. It's the only thing I think in my entire life where things get hyped up all the time, and then when you actually live it, it's never that crazy.
Yeah.
It's that crazy.
Is it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's
I've always wondered. I've heard a million stories, and I normally don't go down these rabbit holes unless, if you want to talk about it, we obviously can. I'm not shutting it down, but it's just whenever I have somebody in that's been through these things. We just never get on it because they're doing so much cool shit like what you're doing now, right? It's like it doesn't define you, but it's a huge part of your life.
It is.
And I think that it's the guys that I really look up to in business, and I talk about this ad nauseum too, and I have on the last couple of podcasts, like the last one that we recorded. They're all guys that are like former operators, and they're just like crushing. Like what you've done with your topper, I'm fucking blown away, dude. Like I can't wait to get onto that subject.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long podcast because there's so much, and I'm kind of putting it together now. Like now, this is why I wanted to go down like your background, and we haven't really got on that subject. So I'm going to let you keep going. But like I'm seeing the culmination of like growing up in Michigan, your dad being in the auto industry, you having a passion for cars, spending all that time in high school, and then your mountaineering side of it, right? You got to travel light, and then you know, the thing that I love about the former SEALs and the former operators is they're gear freaks, and I've always been fascinated by gear and like just cool shit, man. It's cool stuff, and that's what you've done with your topper. It's like, you know, special operations meets functionality and durability and also lightness, dude. Like, so we got to go down that road. But sorry, keep going on the Navy journey. And
I mean, there's a million guys that have talked about this ad nauseum, but I mean,
it's cool hearing that perspective though, because I think the one commonality that I found a lot of times with guys like my buddy Brandon Young says it. He was a Ranger at 2nd Battalion, and, you know, multiple rotations, and just like he's been through some shit, man. And he's such a hammer of a human being, dude. Like the guy is. We've only become friends in the last year, and that was actually an introduction from Ben Davis. He's like, "You need to talk to this guy, right?"
Yeah.
So I got to introduce you guys. Do you know Brandon?
I don't know him personally. No.
He lives right here too. So great dude, right?
Awesome.
And they're crushing it. And I just had his leadership partner or business partner in, Blaine, who's a former Green Beret. Really got to know him. He's a rad dude too. Incredible, just both incredible humans. But I think where it really like sunk in is like Brandon talks about, you know, all the time. One of his like main things is like, you don't need to know why you need to be an Army Ranger. You need to know why you have to be, right? So it's like that commonality of like, I can't fail. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Like those are the guys
has
that,
to be that.
It's not, they weren't the badass all-star on the hockey team or the fucking, you know.
Sometimes. I mean, there's some guys that are just absolute studs at everything they do, and they crush
that's true.
it.
I know
but
a few
that's
of those
a very
too.
rare breed. You know, you've definitely had to have dealt with some adversity prior to going there.
Yeah.
It can't be your first rodeo.
It seems like that's a
hardship.
huge commonality, man.
Yeah.
And I love hearing that side of the story because I think now, and Ben and I have talked about this multiple times, you know, everybody kind of tells like this veteran, like broken story. And like I just said, I look up to those guys in business, like Brandon and Blaine are fucking crushing it. My buddy Beto over at Half Face is fucking crushing it and all the business he's involved in. My buddy Ryan Bates is like, him and his wife are just fucking absolutely crushing in ammo and fitness and everything that they do. It's like, there's so many guys, and I could just keep going down the list that have these super successful businesses because they've applied what they've learned, whether it was in basic training or the military or special operations.
It creates
it's like another level of can't quit, right? Like,
it was just like, I'm going to do whatever is necessary to make this succeed. And that's kind of the mentality that you have to carry into it. Like if there's any doubt or like hesitation or this might fail, or you just can't be there.
Right.
You know, it's going to be long and hard, and nothing about it is easy.
And that's kind of what the command wants, right? When you go on an op, right? Like they don't want you to fail, dude. Like they want a success rate, right?
They build, I guess backing up, like the special operations community does a great job of building a mindset of like, when you leave training, you know, you kind of feel like you're just like this invincible person because you just went through this insane amount of suffering and watched all these guys that just like couldn't do it, you know, and it's something you got to be really careful with. And then, you know, it can obviously bite you hard when reality sets in. Or you like, you know, I was really fortunate to not have to lose a lot of guys that were close to me or in my platoons, but we still lost guys in training, and you're not invincible, you know, even though that is something that they kind of build you up to sort of believe after you make it through all these really intense, like training situations that they put you through. So it's a balance, I guess. It's kind of a weird way of explaining it, but
no, I think
it's like a good example, I guess, is like the 50 meter underwater swim in first phase. So I'd never swam 50 meters underwater ever successfully, because you can't like practice that unless you have someone that's like ready to resuscitate you if you drown.
Right.
You know? And this is a funny story. So you're sitting there, like, try to paint the picture. You have like these little brown UDT shorts on, and you're
Is this the pool comp?
No.
Okay, so this is something different.
This is another like pool evolution in buds. And you're sitting there, and you're like, your legs are out, and you've got a dude like sitting right in front of you, and sometimes like you kind of huddle together because you're just constantly hypothermic and shivering.
So it's
you, like,
super gay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you're just like trying to create some body warmth, and then you can't look at the pool. So you're facing this way, and guys, you hear the instructors on the blowhorn, and they're telling guys to like enter the water, and you go in, you do a front flip, you swim 25 meters, you touch the wall, you come back. And then you come up and you say, I feel fine. And that's a pass. A lot of people drown, and like so you're hearing like dudes drowning constantly behind you while you're just waiting, like you're like shivering there, just waiting to go into the pool, and you're just hearing like grown men being like slapped back to consciousness the entire time.
The gurgles, everything,
and
right?
Just like and the instructor's like, get the fuck up, you know, and just, and it's insane. It's
not funny,
you know,
like,
it's insane. Yeah. And so I'm like sitting there like, holy shit, I've never done, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to swim until I drown, because there's no fucking way I can hold my breath to swim that far. Like, I've never done it. I've never even come close. My breath hold is not that good. And so I jump in, do my front flip, I swim. I'm like, boom, touch the wall. I'm like, I'm out of breath. Like, there's nothing left in the tank.
On the 25 meters. Yeah. That's a long fucking ways,
dude.
Man.
So I swim back, and I swallow a mouthful of water. Another stroke, swallow a mouthful of water. Another one. And I'm just like drowning, but I'm not, like, if you surface, like, that's it.
You done.
Quit.
Yeah.
You know, you just gave up on yourself. So I'm going, and I don't even remember finishing the event, but apparently, like, so I had like a shallow water blackout, and I came to the surface, and I guess I said, I feel fine. And then I passed out, and I woke up to like getting slapped in the face and spitting up a bunch of water.
That's how they slap you in the face?
Yeah, they pull you out. Well, first they just try to see like if you'll come back right away, and then they've got, you know, there's a full medical staff ready to resuscitate you if they need.
So this is people literally dying on the side of the pool.
Yeah, like the whole time. And so I come back to consciousness, and they're like, you passed. I was like, no fucking way. Yeah. You know, like, I was so stoked. And then just like run over to the pass line and just like stand there. But
that's crazy.
I guess like what I'm the only reason for bringing that up is, you know, that is the mentality that you have. Like, you've got to be willing to like die. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, you're probably not going to make it.
Right.
And
that's so crazy, man.
You just kind of,
I don't think all the adversity that I say that I face and all that shit, like in the backcountry, like elk hunting. And there was a couple young elk hunters that got caught like in a storm or something. I don't know the whole story. But yeah, dude, you can get caught out there, and it's kind of that false sense of safety. Like there's been a couple moments where I've been like, holy shit, in some lightning storms. Yeah. Look up see if those kids I bet you they were struck by lightning. Probably more than likely, man. Because those storms roll in the fall, and like
Yeah.
It's fucking
Dude,
gnarly, but it's nothing like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can get caught in do some reading, Tyler, and let me know.
Well, it's like what happens in that, I'm not speaking on behalf of them, but it's just an overall, like, okay, now I'm in this really difficult situation, and like survivability comes into play, and like how far are you willing to push your body to where you don't like believe you can physically go further. You're constantly doing things in buds that just push beyond that limit that you thought was the limit.
And day in and day out, right?
And again. And then all of a sudden you get this like invincibility complex, you know, but you're not, so it's like trying to figure out how to.
And I guess kind of what I was saying is like the adversity that I've faced has been like, elk hunting or packing out where I think I'm like at the end of my rope. Yeah, it's difficult stuff. And I get so much out of it, man. There's so much life experience. It's like when you come home, from one of those trips and you've been, out of your backpack or even to base camp, right? Like if you have a little, like a cold shower feels good, dude. Yeah. Like in the middle of the night with a headlamp, you're like, oh man, this sucks, but I feel so much better.
Yeah.
But man, it really makes you appreciate your pillow, your bed, your fucking warm shower, coffee, like all that shit. Like it is, makes you appreciate it more. But like I've never self-inflicted, like even when I go out with my pack and just the bivy sack or whatever, there's still like a level of comfortability there. I'm trying to make myself as comfortable as possible with extra socks and these fucking, $30 pair of socks or whatever.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. But like at that point in those training evolutions, it seems like it's almost like it's self-inflicted, right? Because you could quit at any time. Yeah. They give you the option.
A ton of
they
people
want
quit
you to, right?
Yeah. They're like, fuck that. I'm not drowning. And
right.
then, okay, here's the bell.
Yeah.
Go home. Like, we'll get you a nice warm meal. You never have to do any of this shit ever again.
Right.
And people quit. Like, that's how they get it done.
So in that 50-meter swim, if you drown in the middle of it, do you fail at that point or do you get a second chance?
Yeah, you fail, and then you can do it up to 4 times. And then,
Fuck, dude.
So if you fail 4 times, then you would get a performance roll.
Okay.
And then you have to stand in front of a review board, and the instructor staff will look at like your overall performance, what other evolutions you failed, your peer evaluations, kind of get an understanding of like who the individual is, and then make a determination if they're going to keep you in the program or drop you.
Okay.
And then, if you get performance rolled more than once, you're typically done. There's exceptions to everything, but
it's crazy. What'd you find out about those elk hunters?
It says that they have no trauma, like no signs of any trauma. They don't know how they died.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
No, like hypothermia?
I had heard they got caught in a storm. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like stuck in a storm, and then they went back out to find a moose, and that was it.
Oh, they were moose hunting. Okay.
And they found them.
Shit, man.
Man, that's really tragic.
Yeah, it sucks too, dude. 2 young dudes, it's like.
It's horrible.
That's crazy.
25.
Yeah.
So much life ahead of them.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's tragic.
No, the backcountry is serious. It's a serious place, and
yeah, you can get caught,
be taken
man.
lightly.
No, and you think about the shit that you're doing. You're out there running around with sharp shit or firearms, and then when you really start to test the limits is when you get an animal on the ground, because you have this huge adrenaline dump, and like after those adrenaline dumps,
now
now you got to like
the process is
bone
just
the whole thing out. Yeah. And I've never ever killed an elk that hasn't been in a deep dark hole, dude. Like literally, it's like where they live, dude. It's like it's the worst, but it's the best thing in the world.
Hunt with you.
Let's go,
dude. I've wanted to do it for so long.
I'm so disappointed, man. I'm like
had a chance.
I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this year, man. Because normally that's like my September. I take a couple weeks off, and I was planning to, but I've just had like a bunch of culminating factors that I'm just not going to go this year. It's just like, I need to be here for my family. I got some, family stuff going on and just busy with work too, man. It's no excuse, but it's just one of those deals,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just that time.
But yeah, dude, I'd love, if you guys want to go, let's fucking go. You guys could probably teach me some mountaineering skills and we'll find some real elk then, you know? Yeah.
I've got a buddy, last year, he went out on an elk hunt with his twin brother and they dropped 2 from 900 meters.
Holy shit. Yeah.
And it was like a 2-day pack out.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about it. I was just like, dude, it was like simultaneous. They're both snipers and like very good shots, and they had an opportunity.
Yeah. Pulling the triggers. Well, finding them's hard. Pulling the trigger's the easy part, right?
Yeah.
And then the work, I always say the work begins because you don't realize how big they are until you start. Like you start on it, it's just like, holy shit, is this gonna?
Yeah, he said they were 600 pounds a piece. It's just like
so much.
Good luck moving that out.
And if you've never done that before, like there's some tricks and methods to it, like but yeah, it's a fucking undertaking.
That's
man.
a
There's
serious
been
amount of effort.
It's been, but it's one of the most like humbling things, and it's like you get to experience it every time you put down your dinner plate. You know what I mean? And you're eating it. It's like you kind of re-experience it, and to the point where I've wondered, like, does this taste so good to me?
Because
is everybody else tasting the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Or like my taste buds elevated, or like, yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of cool
because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Like, once you go through the whole process of like getting that meat to the table.
Do you shoot a bow or have you hunted at all?
I've
other
hunted
than
a little bit.
Yeah.
I would not categorize myself as a hunter at all. But I've shot deer.
Yeah.
And
that's hunting, bro.
But but I don't know. It's not.
Well, there's.
It's not. I've probably. I don't know. Killed like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's hunting, man.
But I don't go often. And every time I've done that, I've been with people who actually hunt and can like give me a refresh on like how to skin an animal and like harvest all the meat the right way.
Just start cutting, man. You can't really.
But there's obviously
there's tricks.
Technique and when I try to do it by myself with no refresh, I get all this hair in the meat and it's just I'm just not proficient at it. I don't do it enough.
That's rad though, man. It's a humbling thing for me, man. I love doing it every time, whether it's a deer or an elk or whatever, man. Like there's something primal about it.
Yeah,
I like
for sure.
Yeah, and I like eating it more than anything.
Yeah, that's the best part.
And the nutrition is like I wanted to see firsthand, so I kind of did this like self experiment a few years ago, and just where I was only eating meat, but then a majority of it. I couldn't live off of just game meat because there's not enough fat on it.
Yeah.
And kind of using fat as fuel. But man, like I did all the nutritional stuff, like got all the blood work done and everything. And it's crazy, dude. Like, it's super nutritional,
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You don't have like a thing on the back that tells you every ingredient that's in it. And it can vary, right? Depending on what they eat.
Their diet, like, is the biggest factor.
Yeah.
And where they are, on the globe.
Yeah.
Like if you're taking something in northern Alaska, it's going to be a lot different than even Colorado.
Oh, absolutely. Well, even like Wyoming, like sage or whatever, it makes a difference. But even like elk hunting's not the hardest, man. Like I look at my buddies like Donnie Vincent or even Beto right now is up in Alaska.
Is he?
Yeah, like that's a whole nother level of like that.
Yeah.
You get up into the Arctic Circle and start doing all that sort of shit, dude.
And tracking.
That's next level. Or
all the things that are required to.
That's honestly why I've went on some of those bison experiments have been fucking incredible, man. Like I will never complain about cutting up an elk with a nice half-face blade ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to do it with fucking rocks, like it's kind of that self-test deal, on a fucking bison it's next level. So yeah, back to your journey. So you graduate buds, obviously, and all these badass deployments, doing all kinds of incredible mountaineering stuff, man. Like how many guys have that on their resume, man. Like, it's kind of cool that you were able to take that route. And that's is that what led you to training?
Yeah.
Into mountaineering stuff is just all the experience and the resume that you had?
So yeah, I did, back-to-back deployments in Europe, and just got all the, and I was the guy that was like annoying other guys to go to the mountains every time we had any sort of
except for Ben's
time.
calling you to go.
Well, Ben was in Africa.
Right.
And so he's in one troop, and he would have loved to have been on that deployment, I think.
I bet.
But yeah, and it's like weird even calling it a deployment because you got guys that like go out and have to, live in a shack, and they're, actually having to do it's still the job. It's a different capacity, that what we were doing. But, we got to do some cool things, but it was nothing like what I anticipated when I was signing up for the Navy.
Right.
But, yeah, so I got all this like mountain time just by happenstance. Like, it wasn't something I planned but I just kind of embraced it. And then, I was coming back to Team 4, and it was like, okay, do I want to do a third? Because every time it's a 2-year cycle that you've got to go through, like a professional development phase, go to schools, get the qualifications that the platoon needs, and then you go into unit level training, and that's a whole 9-month process of kind of integrating your platoon together and doing all the like core skills that are required to do a deployment. And then you've got your pre-deployment time, and then you deploy. So there's like a 2-year cycle. Come back, you kind of reset, get with a new platoon. There's a lot of changing dynamics between how many guys get to stay and who goes, and it's all based off time and a whole bunch of other factors. But I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do a third one of these. Like, I feel like I've gotten to like maximize everything that I could do here. And if there was an opportunity for me to like teach people some of the skills that I've been able to learn, that would be incredible. So there was a guy that was like a huge mentor of mine, who was running the vertical assault cell, which was like the climbing specific thing that fell under this program called advanced training. And I was on my second deployment. I sent him an email, and I was like, hey man, like, this is what I've been doing the last 4 years. Like, here's the schools I've gone to. This is like, the value that I could bring to your program. Then I was like, I'm really interested in coming there if there's a spot. And then he helped facilitate getting me into that training cell. And then once I got there, that's right, shortly after that, they sent me to that Army school. And then I got to teach guys for the next 3 years until I got out.
That's rad.
And yeah, it was.
What is that like being on the instructor side?
It varies because there's instructors for every cell that we do. So like you'll have like a mobility cell that just does like vehicles and off-road recovery and long-range movements and all that stuff, and they're just teaching that topic. And then in advanced training where I was, we were responsible for air and recce. And air was all the jumping, like all the free fall stuff.
So did you jump a lot on?
Not a lot.
Because I know some guys dive into that heavily outside of like.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if you went to the air cell, like those guys got thousands of jumps. And I probably did like 250 jumps in my career.
It's still so many, man.
But it's like not like some guys have thousands, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 jumps.
That's so crazy.
And so there's the air cell, and then there's the recce cell. And the recce cell was responsible for special reconnaissance, sniper sustainment, and vertical assaults, which was like the climbing portion. So I would help out with the sniper sustainment stuff, and then I was kind of like responsible for developing the curriculum of the vertical assaults, like climbing and mountaineering, and how do we like implement all these skills that we learn in the mountains into warfare. And it's an interesting place to be, and I just gave it everything I had. I really dove into that topic and tried to be as proficient as possible in the mountains to just teach other guys. And it was really rewarding. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that time. If if I could have done it longer, I would have. But
Yeah.
then I, met my wife, and it was kind of like this turning point for me. Because you re-enlist like throughout your time. So basically, like if you join the Navy and you become a SEAL, you owe the Navy 6 years, and then you re-enlist, and then that'll put you at, it's typically like a 3 to 5 year window. So I think I re-enlisted for 4, which canceled out my 2-year extension.
Okay.
And
so you have to make a choice at that re-enlistment then.
Yeah.
How long?
So that put me at 8, and then I extended another year to go to 9. And then it was like, okay, you have to re-enlist for another 3 to 5 years. I was like, at this point where like, I didn't want to go back to a regular team. I was like, I'm either going to screen for development group or get out.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind. And
if you're not checking out the Mountainside podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell. To go, and we don't really have to dive into this, but I'm kind of curious, like that screening for development group, like are they looking for certain guys that have certain experience to fit the team for what they need, or do you have any sort of pulse on that? Like,
I never went through Green Team or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak intelligently about what that process looks like in detail, but there is like minimum requirements. Like you can't, like their new guys will typically have at least 2 deployments. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at like their new guy would have done at least 8 years and then gone through another year of selection with them. So they're at like 9 years minimum to be a new guy. So the baseline level of experience is substantially higher than what it is at a regular team where you're coming out of SQT and then going into a team as a new guy and learning everything for the first time. So that's kind of how that looks. And then
that seems to be the turning point for a lot of people, though, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's that 8 to 12 year mark. Like somewhere in there is kind of where if you re-enlist and you're at like 14, it's pretty hard to walk away knowing you can get a retirement at 20. So that's what keeps a lot of guys around.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So then transitioning out of the Navy, what is that like for you? Like, what is this? Did you have this concept for Narwhal and the truck topper like this whole time?
So a company that was integrating a bunch of their equipment into the SEAL teams at the time when I was at Vertical Assaults, I was kind of tasked to use the gear, understand how we can employ it, and figure out if this is like something we want or don't want. And I ended up meeting a bunch of the reps, like in Virginia Beach, and I was like, "Hey, you guys are out of Colorado. Like, my family lives in Colorado. That's where I want to go after the Navy. I've been teaching this stuff for the last 3 years. Like, I've got a lot of rope experience, and could potentially be like an asset for you guys if you're ever looking to expand into the special operations space." Mm-hmm. And they offered me a job, and that's what I've been doing. I'm still doing that.
That's right. So is it like product development kind of too? Like
it's a little bit of product development. It's more like I'm the business development manager for that company. But
that's got to be kind of fun creatively, right?
It is cool. Yeah. And it's been this like really cool transition to be able to go and introduce this capability that a lot of units haven't seen, and also get to work with a massive variety of different units, like from law enforcement to SWAT teams, to, like the FBI to...
There's so much rope access stuff, right?
Yeah, and just like how that stuff is being used and employed, and from like shipboarding and all, that's kind of like the equipment that we make. Mm-hmm. And without diving like too deep into those details, it's just been a great segue out of the Navy to like be able to work with the same people, basically.
Yeah.
Like now I'm representing
You're still
a private
around
company.
some of those guys.
Yeah,
right?
but I get to go out and I get to spend time with them. I speak the same language. I get to understand like their tactics and techniques and procedures.
They're fun people to be around for the most part too, right?
Yeah.
They're going to bust your balls.
I didn't go work at some like corporate American company and have to like totally 180, like going from a SEAL platoon to like, I'm not going to name a company, but some giant corporation I could imagine would be incredibly challenging.
Which is crazy because there's so many of those corporations that like want that, right? Like we want you to do medical sales or we want you to like, which is cool. It's a great opportunity for a lot of people, but I don't know that it's the best fit for life, right? Like, and that's what I've found in people just sharing their experiences on here.
And there's a lot of like processing that needs to happen when you get out. And I think for me, I just feel so like blessed and fortunate that I didn't have to like experience traumatic events in combat. And I got to come out on the other side like pretty clean. We did some stuff. Guys got hurt. But I just feel like blessed that I don't look back on that time as like, some of the weight that these guys carry around. And like, I have so many friends that just carry around heavy, heavy stuff. And I feel lucky that I'm not one of those guys. I guess segueing into the transition out, for me, I think the hardest moment I had was, I went to a SEAL Foundation event, and they host these things, and people donate a lot of money to those nonprofits, and they do amazing work. Like I've seen them. We had a guy in our platoon whose dad had terminal brain cancer, and they funded his ability to fly home for like a day at a time on the weekends between our unit level training trips to go spend time with his dad and come back every weekend for like 7 months until he passed. And, we had Mike died in a free fall accident a couple years ago. And he lived 2 doors down from my brother-in-law. And, they stepped in, paid the house off, and just tried to take care of the family as much as possible.
That's so huge, man. Like any nonprofits that I get involved with. Yeah. And this is why I love Parker's platoon and stuff is I like the nonprofits where I actually know the people that are running it, but then also that they can pivot so quickly. Like if somebody's terminal and they're, on their deathbed, like there's a short amount of time, right? Yeah. Like so being able to make those moves quickly and not a shit ton of red tape. Yeah. But then also like, my most important thing to me, and this I'm just speaking for myself, is my family. Right? Like much more than my own life or my own health or anything like that, right? Like I understand you got to take care of yourself first to take care of them. Yeah. Which is important, but I think these nonprofits have really got their finger on the pulse when they are involving the families or they're maybe the next generation. So like maybe that operator's kids or something, like they know that, if something happens or I'm not able to, their kids are set up for a college fund or whatever it is that they want to pursue, right?
For sure.
Like, I think that that's huge.
It's important. And it's nice you can kind of look at the financials publicly and like really see where the money's going.
That's huge too, yeah.
Just like understand, okay, what are you really about?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess backing up, transitioning, I feel like everything was going pretty smoothly. And then at that event, I ran into a couple like really good friends of mine that I spent a ton of time at SEAL Team 4 with that were over at Development Group. And, one guy's telling me like all these badass ops that he was doing. And, we're sitting there like having some bourbons at the event. And he's just like, dude, why did you punch out? Like, you could have came over here. We could have been doing these things. And I was just like, dude, I don't need to hear any of that.
Right.
I got a wife now. I've got a daughter on the way. Like that's,
so it's like a guilt trip.
Yeah. It was just kind of like, I think it's the reality of just like never knowing. Like I never tried it.
Yeah. Because that's the pinnacle.
That's the pinnacle for sure.
Right.
And everyone knows that. And
Yeah.
I know so many guys over there, and it's amazing. And I've been really fortunate through this job. I've been able to attend a couple training trips with them, and it's been you can just tell like it's another caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to work with them. And I feel like attending those training trips was actually like worse for my mental health because it just like made me like, man,
like the
should I
FOMO
have
feeling?
done this? Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
right, yeah.
You know, and like you kind of feel like you're abandoning the brotherhood, you know, in some ways, and it's tough getting out, like even coming on this podcast, you know,
Yeah.
it's like,
well, fuck, dude, I don't want you to like. You can shut me down if there's anything you don't want to answer.
No,
just like
it's not.
change the subject.
Yeah,
like
it's just
that's not what it's about. But yeah,
it's just you know, they beat into you like not advertising the nature of your work and being a silent professional, and it's really, really important when you're doing the job.
Yeah,
and you know, I sound like a hypocrite saying that on a podcast, you know, but
well, dude, I'm honored to have you on here, and it's like that's honestly why I don't ever really like pry on those questions, because I know how much it means to you guys, and I know guys that will never come on my podcast, like just because of that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But also at the same time, I think I've gotten so much out of hearing those experiences.
yeah,
Whether it's yours, like the pool evolution,
Yeah.
you know, training, the 50-meter swim that you just told me, like I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
And I think anybody can relate to that, right? And I gained so much positive perspective from other people's stories. And I think that that's the biggest thing that I get out of this. So I hope that the listeners are getting it.
me too.
But it's one person,
Yeah.
right? And I think, I don't think that, there's a person in this world that can't relate to what you just said about like fear of missing out, right? Like, and I think it's a different level of brotherhood. It's a different level of like, really finding your tribe, right? Because you guys are fucking warriors, man. Like, it is that warrior mindset, that tribal mindset,
It is.
and not being able to experience the pinnacle of that. I think I can totally relate to you, man. Like, but you shouldn't feel bad about anything that you achieved up to that, man, because I think people experience it, whether, you know, I did. Should I have like quit playing football my senior year, or should I had the chance to go maybe play at probably not a D1 school, but like, did I miss out on that? Did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
I've done it in my rock and roll career, you know, and I'm not comparing the two by any means, but just, I think everybody experiences that at some point in their life. Like some dudes have a career like Derek Wolfe that played for the Broncos and played at a D1 school and had this incredible football career. But then I think that he even still has some reservations of like, fuck, should I quit when I did? Should I have, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just a human thing that everybody has to go through. And it's crazy because like even some of the guys that I know that were over at that squadron and at that pinnacle, they're like, well, you're a man amongst giants, right? There's always somebody bigger and badder than you. And one of my favorite sayings of all time is one of the Hells Angels sayings, and it's from Sonny Barger. And he's like, everybody thinks they're a tough guy until they meet one, right? Like there's that whole like lore, and you guys have it more, or the special operations community has it more than anybody, right? Like you're never gonna out soldier the best soldier, right? Like I don't know. That's just kind of my perspective. Like, but I could see where that cuts deep, especially when you're around it, because it is a pretty ruthless. Like, I mean, I even feel that way. Like when I'm with a group of you guys or hanging out with you and Ben or whatever, I feel like an outsider in the circle, right? Like I don't have the same bond that you guys have, and I know my place, and I love being around you guys, and I love being around the authenticity and somebody busting my balls and authentically like telling me like, dude, you fucked up, or like, why are you so fat or whatever it is, dude? Like if it's the fat shaming or like get your shit together or whatever, right? But I also know like my place too. So like I can kind of feel that in your community just being around some of the guys that I know.
And I think that's an important part of transitioning out, you know, is like you're not a SEAL anymore. You're a dude. You know, you're in the world, you're in the professional marketplace now. And you can live on your laurels for the rest of your life and go around just talking about the good old days forever, or you can move on and, you know, start something new. And I think like having my daughter was like the solidifying moment of like, I have no regrets at all about the decisions that I've made.
You shouldn't, man. Like,
but
it takes so time. Fucking rock and roll. Whether you're, like you said, and I know multiple guys that have lost dudes on training, operations. You know what I mean? It's fucking for real, man. But it is such a rock and roll job, man. Like
it is.
I have FOMO just from not even like. Like, why didn't I do that as a young man? Like, that time is obviously past, and I've done some incredible stuff in my career, but like, dude, that is the pinnacle of testosterone, manhood, fucking like, just all the cool. I'm a fan of it, not only for my patriotism, but I just think there's nothing more rock and roll than that. Like, like the helicopter stuff, like, and I, you know.
It is
coming in on helicopters or fast ropes or whatever, right? And I think everybody only sees that little.
Exactly.
They see the flashpoints or the highlight guys of the guys jumping out of the back of the C-130, but they don't know about ground mapping for fucking 4 hours before that, right?
Exactly. Like they don't see the guys sitting there with 200 pounds of shit strapped to them, waiting to get on a C-130,
freezing your ass off, probably, right?
For 5 hours. And that over and over and over again, and it really is the best job in the world. Like, there's no other job that will ever compare to doing any of the things that you get to do in that capacity. But I'm just happy to like know that, hey, I'm gonna be around for my kids. Like being gone.
Yeah, man, and having all your limbs and like you know. Like all that sort of stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, some guys have families and stuff and still do the job, and like kudos to them. That is incredibly difficult, and they have amazing wives and kids that, you know, can handle it.
Yeah. It's almost like a level of servitude on that point too. Like the family's almost serving at the same point, right?
Yeah.
Like you think about the toll.
Dude. Yeah. It's not talked about enough. But I didn't want to do it. You know, once it got to the point where I was seriously, you know, considering like getting married and starting a family, I was like, yeah, this job is not conducive to a strong family life for me personally. You know, some people can do it, and it's amazing, the ones that can pull it off, but it's a rare breed.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what it's like to be on the road 200-300 days a year.
That's why I don't do it, man. Like I quit as much as I would love to be out with Metallica right now.
Yeah.
And like I got a fucking, shouldn't even say this but I have a spot with them if I want. Like, and that's a fucking amazing bucket list thing, right?
Yeah.
So this is back to your same sort of scenario. Like I was sitting there like contemplating in all these moves I'm making in business right now. I was like, fuck, should I just like hang up the podcast? And like I would have to quit the podcast, everything that I've put into here for 5 years, everything that I've gained out of it, probably. I mean, I might be able to keep it going. But the biggest thing is like, you're just walking out the door on your kids. Like, hey, I've been around doing all this stuff, but I'm going to go do this. And that is my plan B, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, if everything crumbles.
For sure.
But man, that's a fucking bucket list. That's my gold squadron right there.
Yeah.
Right? Like I shouldn't even compare the two. I'm not. But
it's your, you know, if you can categorize your pinnacle of achieving something that you have dreamed of your whole life, like, I get it.
And it's so rock and roll, man. It's fucking awesome what those guys do day in and day out. And
Yeah.
It's fun that you get an adrenaline dump from every show, you know?
Yeah.
It's like those guys are masters of their craft. Like,
Yeah.
and not only are they masters, like the people that they employ are masters as well. It's like the best of the best in the business, you know, are out with those dudes. And it's,
Yeah.
so yeah, I feel like I'm missing out.
There's something incredible about being the best at anything.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, and that's
the thing,
that's
though.
kind
You
of
never will be the best.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I think what's had so much influence on like, okay, I didn't do that. And I want to be the best like husband and father that I can be.
That's key.
But at the same time, I also like, I'm still young. I want to like achieve something great and build this like amazing company with an amazing group of people and build amazing products and bring those to the marketplace and find like, I think a high level of fulfillment through that instead of operating, you know.
And also having full creative control. Like I have that here.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why I've been successful is like I have that full creative control. And like, I don't think I've ever had it, even though my jobs prior to this were a lot of creative input and a lot of creative stuff. I never had like full creative control.
Yeah.
And it's like this, I can really put my stamp on. Like it's the goal isn't to like make it the best thing ever. I'm sure your goal isn't to make it the most number one selling truck topper, right? It's to make the best truck topper.
Yeah.
Right. That you can, or your version of it. Right.
Yeah.
I think this is a great segue into that.
Yeah.
Because we've beat up everything else. This is rad though, man. Like I've really gotten to know you today, man. So, and I appreciate your honesty, man, because like, this is cool too. Like we're popping your cherry on the podcast.
Yeah,
here, dude.
this is the first one.
So it's rad, man.
No, it's cool. Thank you
I
again
feel
for
really
having me on.
honored because I'm sure this hasn't been the first offer that you've had to be on one. And I know that you are a quiet professional, you know, even though that you and I have had conversations outside of here. So I feel fucking super honored to have you here today, dude. Like it means a lot to me. And we'll do you right, man. So if we need to edit any of that other shit out, you just let me know.
No, I don't. Trying to stay cognizant of not like sharing information that shouldn't be publicly available. But
yeah,
I really appreciate you having me, and that means a lot. So
yeah, man.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this fucking badass truck topper, dude. It's so cool because I've been along for the journey with you for the last like. Has it been a year now since?
More, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's been about 9 months since you told me, probably.
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
I think we talked a couple months ago, and you're like, dude, I have this idea. I don't know. Like, you were just showing it to me, and I think it's fucking incredible. But it's so cool how fast you moved, and it's inspiring to me. Like, dude, I should get my shit together a little bit because. Like you showed me the concept and you're like, this is kind of like the prototype. And we're showing it here on the screen. So if you're just listening to this, hit the link, get over to our website, go over to the mountainside and get on YouTube and check this thing out, man. So this is a Narwhal truck topper. I'm going to let you explain all the ins and outs of it. But before we do that, you showed up today with one on the back of your fucking badass motherfucking Ford Ranger, the Raptor Ranger, which is sick because I'd never seen one of those. So it's fitting, or I've never been that close to one of those. I've seen like passed them on the road and they're like, oh, I want to check one of those out. So I had no idea that this was like your vehicle. But then to see the actual truck topper after you and I have talked about it so much and everything, your plans in going to SEMA, because I have some experience in dealing in trade shows and in the off-road space, man. Like it's fucking cool to see it out there. And I was, for a prototype, you know, I was blown away. Like literally blown away, man. Like just all the little attention to detail. And this is why I love my friends that are former SEALs, because they're gear freaks, right? Like, so when we open the side door, like what you can see from the inside and outside, but I'm going to let you explain the concept and how you came up with this, or you and your partners came up with this. Like, how did this happen?
So It started, obviously the baseline is that I've always had a passion for automotive, and in a lot of capacities, like in race cars, old Mustangs, trucks. And then the SEAL teams exposed me to a ton of driving schools and opportunities to go like really hammer vehicles off-road and on tracks and PSD driving and kind of understanding the limitations and capabilities of different equipment and different vehicles. And so the bar was set pretty high on like, all right, if I'm going to build something, it needs to be really badass. Otherwise, I don't want to build it. And I travel around a lot, and I use my truck for a ton of different stuff, and I'm always putting like really expensive equipment in the back, and I need it to be locked up. So I need a truck for a ton of different things, and I also need a topper for a ton of different things. So I started browsing the marketplace for, like a high-end unit that would work for a Raptor, and I could still take the truck out off-road and like really hammer on it and not have to worry about things like braking or whatever. And that narrowed down the pool really fast. And there was only a couple options, so I ended up buying one of them. And when it showed up, I was just not impressed. And nothing. They make a great product, but it weighs a lot. There was just.
Is it all metal product?
Yeah, it was fully aluminum. Mm-hmm. And you could see like the exterior welds, and it just kind of looked like a metal shop, like kind of fabbed this thing up and threw it together. And I, simultaneously had been working with composites and a lot of different, like for shipboarding capabilities and all this different equipment. And I was seeing the application of carbon fiber in all these different ways. I was like, well, why don't we just make a topper that's super lightweight and super strong and does all the stuff that I want it to do, that I can bolt into my truck, that's not like held on by little C-clamps.
Mm-hmm. I hate those when the truck toppers. That was one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I noticed it was like through bolted, right?
It's bolted I'm assuming into the bed.
Yeah. So do you have to drill through the bed?
No.
Okay.
Well, it'll depend on the model, but like the Ranger and a lot of trucks now have pre-threaded holes where like your tie-down points will be.
Gotcha.
So we'll make custom brackets that will lock into the L-track that runs along the bottom.
So fucking awesome, man.
And then it'll be bolted in place.
Because I hate those little C-clamp things that you got to do, and then they're in your way, and then
they move.
If you're like trying to sleep in the back of the truck or something, next thing you know, you're caught on it or something, rips the pocket out of your pants, or which I've had happen, right? Like when you have a topper, you're going to have to crawl in and out of it.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to let you keep going. But the other thing I love about this is the accessibility, right? That you have is, dude, you got a fucking turret hatchet. That's so fucking cool. All right, keep going. I'm going to stop fanboying.
So, basically that's how the idea started. And then I ran it by my dad. And this was probably almost 2 years ago. Like where the idea, because I had just purchased this thing. I put it on the truck, and I'm like, I spent a lot of money on that.
Yeah, the price point is so high. Even on the bullshit fiberglass ones.
Yeah,
they're
like
expensive.
$4,000.
Yeah.
And the one I bought was like $6,000. And I was like, we're approaching the price point of carbon fiber. Like I knew relatively how much it cost to make something. And there's different manufacturing methods, and we don't have to get into all that nerd science behind it, and different production methods.
But you had to get into to create this, right?
Yeah, and I ran the idea by my dad, and this was the first time in my entire life where I saw him light up, because he was like, "This is actually a good idea."
And this is a guy that's worked in the automotive space, developing
for
stuff.
40 years.
Wow, that's crazy. And that's so cool that you have him in your corner too.
Oh, it's been amazing. And a lot of people have asked me, like, how are you working with your family like that intensely every day? And honestly, it's been so cool. Like I always have looked up to my dad from a business perspective, especially. And he's got like his MBA from Vanderbilt, and he's done all these incredible things in the space. And
Shout out to Dad.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
So he was like, all right, this might have some legs. Like, let's build out a financial model and kind of see like what we're working with and validate if this is like worth pursuing or not. So we did that for about a month. And then the numbers looked pretty good. And I had a friend that I met at a search and rescue conference who was a composites engineer. Well, he's a mechanical engineer, but he's been in the composite space for a long time. And he was working in aerospace and now sporting goods and kind of had experience in a lot of different industries in the application of composites and kind of knew, like he could figure out how to make this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called him up and I was like, hey man, I've got this business idea. Like, you want to come out to Colorado? Like, we'll put a pitch deck together and kind of show you like what this vision is. So he came out and we ran him through it. He stayed with me for the weekend and he was on board. So
so you're building a team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. And obviously like we're bootstrapping the entire thing. Like I sold my rental property to basically fund all of this.
Wow. So you're all in.
All in. Yeah. There's no turning back at this point.
It's the pole competition.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it puts tremendous weight on my family, you know,
Yeah.
and
It's hard, man.
and it's high risk. And I understand, like, I know what I'm getting into here is not like guaranteed success. But yeah. And then my brother has been involved, and my dad's like coaching him through program management and like how to run. He's brought in his, like people that have worked with him for decades to help on the back end. We have this amazing, design and engineering team. They're out of Toronto, but, the founder of that team used to work at a company called Multimatic. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but
Why do I know that name?
because they're badass.
Yeah.
So they run a ton of like specialty vehicle projects. Like Ford uses Multimatic to build low volume specialty vehicles. So like the Mustang GTD that just came out.
Okay.
That was like winning lap
So like the
records on the
badass shit.
Nürburgring.
Yeah.
That they're only going to make like X thousand units, and it's a fully carbon fiber body, and it's got all this crazy suspension technology. So anyway, that company is where these guys came from.
Oh shit.
And they stood up their own thing, and my dad, through a relationship, got introduced us to them, and we ran them through the idea, and they were the design and engineering house behind, you know, coming up with what this is. And then myself and my dad and Adam built out like a full requirements document. Like, okay, here's every single thing that this needs to do. This is how much we want to, like, here's our weight targets, here's the feature targets, here's all the stuff. And then, you know, we hand that off to them, and they came out, and we've worked back and forth, you know, extensively to bring this to life. And then we found I'm learning how to work with suppliers. So we've got like a company in Ohio doing glass. We've got a company in Salt Lake City that's doing the composites right now. And then, you know, we're putting this stuff together in our garage for the moment. But the plan is to...
So it's a U.S.-based and sourced company, too.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool,
The only
man.
thing that's not U.S.-based right now is the machine parts.
Okay.
And I'd love to find a way to do that. But I'm sure, like, anybody that's been in the manufacturing space, like, you just can't buy nuts and bolts from
right.
You just can't find them. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's
really
so
hard.
crazy, man. Like
And the price point for like custom machine work, like I'm sure, you know, Beto and some of those guys that are making, like, that have CNC machines in house, like they'll tell you.
Oh yeah,
you know?
That's so expensive, man. Because I've experienced it on the staging side, like just even a water jet, you know, or a fucking anything like that for even just cutting. There's a really cool. This is a perfect time to give him a shout out. He's a former SEAL that created his own belt company, and he uses all, you know, American leather or American sourced. Yeah, Mac belts.
Yeah, man.
Do you know him?
I've purchased a few and given them out as gifts.
That's fucking rad. They're so badass, man.
Yeah.
And those, like, they're fucking weapons, man.
Yeah,
like,
they're awesome.
They're so badass. But he made, and I don't know him personally, but I have like one person away from him, you know, like just like the community.
Yeah.
But he went and took like this old machine out of fucking restoration and restored it.
Yeah.
So he could make his own hardware. Like it threads bolt. It basically makes bolts and stuff, man. But that's what you got to do. Like that's another Navy owned, or not fully Navy owned, but Origin. That's the same thing. They took like these fabric looms out of, like it's almost like a lost art here.
Yeah,
to get anything made like that.
Yeah. And we'll continue to search for solutions and ideas. Like at some point, like I don't think we'll ever be a glass manufacturer, but the goal is to go to SEMA, launch this thing, open it up for pre-orders, and this is where I'm going to ask people to be like patient with me because this is going to be a rollout. And we're going to do. It's got to be based off market data and volume of trucks and X, Y, and Z. So we'll roll these things out as fast as we can, but at the same time, we want to bring in manufacturing capacity in-house and start building all the carbon fiber stuff ourselves.
Wow.
So in order to do that, we need capital, and there's different processes of how you can make carbon fiber parts. And right now that we're doing, it's a very labor-intensive, very handmade process.
Really?
Yeah, it's called VARDM. It's like vacuum assisted resin transfer molding is the process, if anyone wants to look that up. But we want
I can't even pronounce.
Yeah. So you need an engineer in here to really dive deep into like everything. But essentially you're laying up sheets of carbon fiber and you're putting a plastic bag on top of it, and then you compress it under vacuum, and then you push resin through the material. The resin hardens, and then you have a part. And then the part has to be trimmed and sanded and painted to get, like an automotive surface quality finish.
And the strength on it is insane. Like we've had some staging pieces built that have like carbon fiber frames and stuff, and it's like the strength is fucking unreal. I mean, it's the crazy reason why they build Formula One cars out of it, basically.
That's why, McLaren and all these badass race car companies are building chassis out of carbon fiber. It's amazing.
That's so
you
crazy.
You can drop the weight, 30, 40% from a steel or aluminum frame and have a higher strength.
Yeah.
Which is, but yeah, the goal would be to get to like high pressure where you can use, it's called like high pressure RTM, where you're basically using like hydraulic presses, and you have a machine that can pick up the carbon fiber components, place them in a mold, and then this huge press can come down, put pressure, inject resin, introduce heat, and pull parts in like 15 minutes.
Wow.
And you have like perfect resin transfer where you can push, because you think about like running something under a vacuum hose versus running something under 50,000 pounds of pressure. It puts everything exactly where it needs to be. It's super fast, it's repeatable, and that is kind of the method that we would have to move to in order to deliver thousands of these every year.
Yeah.
Because right now we're making them by hand, and it's an awesome process, but it's not conducive to
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
High volume.
So is the shell, is that all one piece?
It's and that's monocoque.
Like a really?
Yeah.
And then you have to modify that per truck spec, right?
Yep.
So there are only certain vehicles that you guys are manufacturing for?
Yeah. So it'll be all like anything current gen from Ford, GM, GMC is included in that. Jeep and Toyota is what we're starting with as like models that we're going to develop for.
So your kingpins in the off-road space.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. And we're starting with like, the F1, like right now we have it on the Ranger because we had a Ranger Raptor to do product validation, but we're going to go into F-150 and Tacoma will be next, just based off how many F-150s and Tacomas are out there.
Wow, yeah.
And how often people modify them and how many people are running toppers on trucks, and all the data that kind of has to go behind that decision. And then we'll do the follow-on models based off pre-order demand. So depending on how much demand we get for follow-on models is what we'll schedule next for tooling, because each individual model have to have custom tooling created to make the shells. And then the panels and the turret hatch.
It's constantly evolving, right? Like every year.
Yeah, but a lot of, like, for example, the F-150 bed is very, very similar to the previous 2 generations. So
Right.
like we haven't confirmed this yet, but we should be able to make one hard tool for the shell from a 2009 to current F-150. And then we'll make custom brackets so we can have them integrate into the tie-down points of those 3 generations of F-150. But yeah, so some trucks will get lucky and we'll be able to go all the way back to like 2009 or previous gen trucks, and then some of them we'll just have to see what the demand looks like.
That's rad, man. There's so much more to this that I think people just take for granted. Like,
For sure.
yeah, I need one for my 04
Yeah.
Toyota Tundra, which
Yeah.
you guys probably aren't manufacturing, but
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see how far back we can get on the Tundra.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I know there's a shitload of them out there, and they're still really sought after to the point where I come out here occasionally, and there's a Post-it note on
Yeah.
my window, and they're like,
That's a great truck.
"You want?" Yeah,
Yeah. It's a bulletproof drivetrain, and those are hard to find now.
they're so rad, man. I love them. That's honestly why I haven't bought a new truck, but.
You mind if we take it? I got it.
Yeah, let's do that. If you're not checking out the Mountainside Podcast on YouTube, you absolutely should be. If you like the content that we create here and you want to help support the podcast, please take a moment, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit that notification bell. I'm going to try to... when is SEMA? Okay.
November.
We're back. Let's
Okay.
get back to it. So when is SEMA?
SEMA is November 4th through the 7th.
Okay.
And Friday is open to the public.
Oh, they're doing that now.
Yeah. Yeah, which is
Dude,
really cool. I went last year.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you've never been to that show and you like cars even just a little bit or off-road shit, it's incredible, man. And not only that, like all the shit that Monster does, like out in like the parking lot and stuff, they'll have like freestyle motocross or drift cars or like, dude, as a spectator, and then like just look at some of the vehicles that they have, including like it's the baddest ass shit. This is the SHOT Show of the off-road space, and like it's
Of automotive aftermarket
Yeah.
as a whole. Like, and now they've expanded into like the overland off-road has really like become a part of SEMA, because SEMA kind of started as like race car parts,
right.
and it was all like drift cars and drag cars and crazy custom builds, and they're the off-road and overlanding kind of markets have really grown, and SEMA's like fully embraced that. And now they have the entire West Hall is dedicated to like truck and off-road, which is where we'll be.
Plus it's Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to do in and
Yeah.
outside of there, so it's a great spot for it, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, so
Well, I might try to make it down.
You should,
if I have
man.
time in November. First of all, to come down and support you, but in these other business ventures that I got going on too, it'd be good for me to show up there.
yeah.
So let's go back to Narwhal's website, because I think we got into the science of it, but that's not why people are going to buy this, right? Like, first of all, my first question is, and I don't think I asked you out there, dude, with this being 100% carbon fiber, basically, other than the glass, right?
And the hardware, yeah.
And the hardware. I mean, the whole thing, does it weigh 200 pounds? Is it 100 pounds? Like, do you know for your Raptor?
We got a finalized weight on all the composites. So all the carbon fiber parts weighed 62 pounds. And
Holy shit.
now we have to do a final weight check with the glass and hardware, but we're sitting right around 100 pounds, which is,
Dude, that
I'm
is
so
fucking
proud
insane.
of like the team and everybody for being able to achieve that. It's really special, and there's so many benefits to that, like especially on mid-sized trucks or Raptors or TRD Pros and all these trucks that have like high-end suspensions that are
It's performance
softer.
suspension.
Yeah. Like you don't really get a ton of payload. And when you put a 300-pound topper on the back, like your truck starts squatting immediately. And that throws off your rake, which impacts the performance of like when you're braking and when you're driving fast and when you're going through corners. And we really wanted to make this like a performance product for people that just need a topper. You know, and that's what we've done here.
That's fucking rad. So it has access on 4 sides of it, really, right? Because you have a little slide window, and for your slide window in the back.
Yep. So your
then
dogs can stick their head in and get some AC. Yeah.
And then you have it shows it right there.
Yep.
Then you have the 2 side panels, right, that open up completely, and like those little gas hinges, I fucking love those things, dude.
Yeah.
Because there's no like prop up or anything. It's just like the automatic open. But what I really noticed about it, and this is my complaint with some other of the toppers that I've owned, like the back hatch opens up, like, because it's carbon fiber, I think it's a wider footprint, right?
The reason it's wider is because we actually, like, if you look at the geometry of the bottom pillars, you see how it actually comes out?
Right.
So your usable space in the topper is bigger than like a conventional topper.
And that's my complaint with other conventional toppers, is they never take that into account. So like you can't put a 4x8 sheet of plywood back there. It has to go at an angle. And then it's riding against your topper, fucking it up or whatever, right? Like, And
we made a removable rear panel for exactly that.
Oh, like, so you can take that off.
Yeah. So like for me,
that's badass.
There's a lot of times where I'm just like, I want my tailgate up and I'm just like throwing lumber in the back and I'll just ratchet strap it to the side.
Yeah, but then what do you do with your piece of glass?
Topper thing is just flapping in the wind and you got to like bungee cord it to your roof rail or something. Right. And it was just a pain in the ass. And I've had that happen, so many times. And I was like, why don't they just make this removable? So we made it removable.
That's fucking awesome.
And then, for the mountain bikers, like throwing the bike pads on the tailgate, and it's high enough and there's enough interior space in there where you can get a bunch of bikes and have them over the tailgate pad if you still want to do that.
Yeah.
With a topper that you don't have to take off. So that was kind of the thought behind the rear.
And the cool thing about it too is normally that's just a piece of glass with like a rubber flap. So there's like no structure, but you have that framed out. Like every window is framed out. It's not just glass on hinges, which I think in some off-road situations, you start to get flex. And that's where I've had glass break just from my bed flexing so much.
It's crazy how much the bed flexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really tested that in Moab last week. And it's just wild to see the truck like in slow motion when you're watching it. It whoops at like 40 miles an hour. And then the bed is just, it'll move like 2 inches, which is a lot. And we've had to think about that in the way that we laid up the carbon fiber and how many layers and how much flex we want to give it. Like it has to be rigid and strong. We designed and engineered this to support 600 pounds of dynamic load on the roof. So
wow,
that's a lot. That's like, it's not the leading dynamic load rating, but it's pretty damn close. And from a static load perspective, like you could put, I don't know, a couple 1,000 pounds. We don't want to like break the topper right now.
Yeah.
But eventually we will. But it's incredibly strong. But there's
dude, I love to break shit. So when you guys are doing that, call me, man, because like that's one of my favorite things. But dude, that's insane. 600 pounds
dynamic. Yeah. So that means like driving off road with. I don't know who's going to put 600 pounds of shit on your roof, but
no.
Some people that run rooftop tents.
How much is that Dillon defense gun?
I would guess that's probably 400 pounds or so. Yeah. They're not light.
Okay, so let's go back to the topper here. And I think one of the coolest things, because me as a backcountry elk hunter, like an archery hunter especially, glassing is huge, right? Like glassing is fucking everything. Like if you're not glassing and you're getting into backcountry elk hunting, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. Like I think you have to locate the animals and then go after them. That's a dope photo, by the way. So your turret hatch that you have is so badass, because I find myself, and this is one of the issues that I have with running a topper and why I don't run a topper, is a lot of times I'm driving to a high vantage point, right? So I can glass.
Exactly.
areas, right? But then I'll find myself in my bed with my like a tripod or something, sitting on my roof, so I can then glass.
Yeah.
Because you're gaining whatever that is, 4 feet, right? So
Yeah.
now you're on stilts, so you can see a little bit better, and it's a level spot to stand. You're not like, standing on top of rocks or whatever. But anyways, this capability, you're not going to go stand on top of a fiberglass topper, a big guy like me, and expect it to hold up, right? But this is a cool option. But not only that, you have all this rail mount system, which is like some sort of track, right?
It's an L-track.
L-track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea with that, with the turret hatch was exactly what you're talking about. Like, I think for the hunting community and anybody that wants to get an elevated vantage point and be able to glass or even shoot from, it gives you that perfect like working surface where you could just hop up in the back of your truck, and now you've got like a workbench table with L-track to mount accessories, and you can get a or a bipod or tripod set up, and we'll come out. We'd love to eventually, and the idea was to develop further into accessories and be able to come up with like, the stabilization up there, something that could integrate into the rails, and you could mount your spotting scopes and your rifles and photography equipment. People that do all kinds of...
That's huge too. I've done that doing photo. I do it right here in Evergreen. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. So being able to get like a gimbal or something mounted up there and do driving shots.
Or just your GoPro. Yeah. Whatever,
all
right?
Kinds of... As crazy as you want to get.
But the cool thing too are like the rack bars that you have up there, because let's say you're elk hunting one weekend, and then the next weekend you're taking the family in the canoe to the fucking lake, which happens all the time. Like that L-track is badass shit, because it's easy removal. It's quick, right?
Yeah.
It's like snap and go kind of.
That was a huge frustration I had with previous toppers, was like, we installed a cabinet in the side, and there's like a T-slot rail, that uses like traditional like M8 hardware or something like that.
Sucks.
And I had to like line up 4 different mounting points on the bottom, 4 different mounting points on the top, and you're trying to like line up all these bolts. And I was like, why don't they just use L-track? And then you can make a quick attach, and then you're like pushing in a button and releasing the connection. And the connections on L-track are like thousands of pounds.
They're so strong.
They're incredibly strong.
Yeah.
So
we actually use a different method in semis. Like I was telling you on the way up here, how many semis we're sending to this next job. And it's an E-track. It's a much more, it's what they use in aircraft and stuff to secure shit to the floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that stuff's so badass, and it's so modular. It's so cool. And the accessories that you guys could mount are endless to it.
Yeah.
It's really cool design, man.
Yeah, and we've like floated the idea of, having a rooftop tent eventually that can mount with the turret hatch removed, so you have an access hole into your tent from the bed.
I didn't even think about that.
And it could be, we could build a carbon fiber rooftop tent, and you're looking at a full setup that weighs like less than 200 pounds. It should be incredible.
That would be awesome.
And yeah, I mean, I'm not like personally, I don't use rooftop tents. I like to like find a flat spot and go set my tent up. But I know that's a big thing. People love them.
Yeah. And
they're heavy. Some of them are really heavy. Dude.
Yeah, they're so crazy. Yeah, so if you can get into that space too, man.
Yeah.
Well, just the partnerships that you could come up with too is incredible in the firearm space. And man, when you were creating this, did you have the military in mind or a military contract at all? Because doesn't it weight come into play when you're starting to put some of these off-road vehicles and planes? I know weight comes into play when we're loading like rock and roll skids with equipment and stuff.
We never really set out with the intention of like, we're going to build this for military use.
Right.
But we used all the lessons learned from seeing how composites were being used in military applications, in aerospace applications, in automotive applications, and then kind of combined that into the way that we designed and engineered it. I think at some point down the line, there's a potential for that. I could think of some use cases where it could be beneficial to change the layup structure of how we make these to like block, different frequencies from being able to pass in and out, and communications equipment and things like that. But that's not the focus at all right now. The focus is to like build these things for the top selling market. Trucks, get them out there in the off-road space, like build a product that people have confidence in, that they know works. And that's, last week when we were in Moab, we were just thrashing the truck.
Yeah, tell me about that. Because this is like, if you ever need somebody to come out and test some shit, dude, like I am down. Like this is my favorite thing to do.
That's the best part of the whole
product
deal.
testing, right?
Product validation.
Right.
So we, we're like, well, we want to keep this unit. We could build another one if we break it and have to go to SEMA, but we were like, we need to make sure that this works. Like this is the first one. Right. And
is that the first one on your
first
truck?
one ever.
Dude, that's cool. This
first
is a
one ever.
Yeah, a little bit of history.
And eventually I'd love to take it off and like put it in our lobby or something.
You should. Yeah. You should. Absolutely, man.
But so we went to Moab, and my dad hasn't like done a ton of off-roading stuff. So
really,
he's got a Bronco with like 35s. It's badass. It's got a Fox suspension.
One of the newer ones?
Yeah.
Is it the Raptor Bronco?
It's not the Raptor. Okay. It's a Wild Track, but it has the Hosh 3.0 package, which is a Fox suspension.
Nice.
So it's pretty good for high-speed off-roading. And, I gave him a radio. And I was like, okay, here's how like 4-low works. Here's how your locking differentials work. We did high-speed washboard roads. And he was like, I'm not driving that fast. But so we did some of that.
Had to be fun for him and you, though, right? Yeah, this is cool, man, that you're doing this with your dad. That's
rad. Then we went and did whoops, so like those big divots. I think we got a video of it on our Instagram of the truck going through
go to
whoops.
their Instagram too, Tyler.
And then we did some rock crawling.
Dude, which that's where you're going to torque something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So we wanted to see like, okay, well, how much flex does this have under full wheel articulation? Like, let's get a wheel in the air and then see how much the bed moves. And it was no problem. And the composites like totally support that. There's enough flex built into it that it's not an issue. And I think just going through all of those tests and like sharing all that with the team, like everyone is so stoked that we were able to build a working unit on round one. I think that is a huge testament to the team behind this project. And I think for people that have been through the like automotive product development cycle, like it's rare that you build the first prototype of something and it works flawlessly. Like that's not a common and there's minor things that we've identified that we're going to change, but it's like hardware attachment points and certain, it's little stuff, but like the topper works, and we proved that it works at 85 miles an hour down a washboard road in Moab.
That's fucking cool,
which
man.
Is something I'm super proud of.
The Narwhal's Instagram. I want to see some of these videos. Because I love, dude, like, I don't know if I've told you this, but if I had to do it over again, my FOMO that we were talking about earlier is I would have started it all over and hung up everything, maybe even my kids. I shouldn't say that, but no, I love you guys. But I would have done it as a pro truck racer.
Yeah.
Like BJ Baldwin, like style or something, man. It would have been, it's so much fun. There's nothing funner than bombing a truck like this,
Yeah. It is so much fun. And
wow. So this is the manufacturing process here too.
Yep. So that's them like making one of the side panels.
Nice.
So you can kind of see like that.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's really cool. And it's been so cool to like learn about composites and learn about the endless amount of topics that you need to have a baseline level of knowledge.
Dude, I learned so much. I had no idea. I know that you and I have been talking, but it's been in like short stints where it hasn't been really focused, but it's incredible, man. It's incredible the team that you have. and what you've created, man. So I'm 100% behind you. Like any way that we can help you here, let me know. And
yeah, that means a lot.
I just think it's so cool, man, because I've struggled with so many truck toppers, and that's honestly why I don't have one on, because they're all kind of like pieces of shit, honestly.
There's definitely some companies making some cool stuff.
It's no knock on any of it. It's just not what I want.
Yeah.
It's not
me neither.
It's not worthy, right? Like I'd rather just not have one.
Nothing that existed was what I wanted either.
Yeah.
And that's why we made one.
That's rad, dude.
You know?
The coolest part is it's you, and yeah, man, like there's nobody better at the helm of it too, bro. So I'm excited for you, man. Like I think SEMA is going to be awesome. Do you guys have your booth number or anything yet? Like, so people can come check this out?
Yeah, it's 54018.
Holy shit, you got it memorized, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should double check that, but I am pretty confident.
Yeah, let's double check it.
It's on the SEMA website. They have a full layout.
They already have their layout.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's definitely check that. We'll put a direct link to SEMA. You should definitely attend, even if you don't live in Vegas. Like, go stay a night at the Cosmo or whatever, or go to the Sphere and go check out SEMA, especially if you're a gearhead, man, because it's
the coolest show ever.
It's so badass.
Yeah, if you even have a slight interest in vehicles, it's like Disneyland.
Yeah, or maybe you just want to trick out whatever you own, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the spot to do it, dude.
Yeah.
It's a mall for motorheads, dude.
And you just get to, it's like art, like you get to see some
so
of these
crazy.
custom builds. Like people spend their entire year like getting a SEMA vehicle ready.
Yeah.
And it's like so cool to see some of the modifications that are.
It's really rad. Did you find the booth?
It's floor plan on the top left there.
So we're going to put direct links in the show notes to Narwhal, Richie's Instagram. Do you want us to put your personal Instagram on there? Is it public?
No, it's not public. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean,
well, it's up to you.
It's fine.
Yeah. People will find you anyway.
Yeah.
They're like intelligence. Sick.
54018. Yeah.
Okay. So it's 54018. If you're at SEMA, even if you're not interested, go support these dudes. Roll by, say hi, go check out the Raptor Ranger, which is badass, that has the topper on it. This is super cool, man. So
yeah, I just, like a year ago when we were committing to the booth and all this stuff, and just like seeing the companies that were around us, it's like, holy shit, like we're right next to King Shocks and Ford.
Oh, that's so badass.
And like these brands and that, I've always been an enthusiast and followed them for years and always watched like their product development and what they're coming out with. And
King's is a great company too.
Yeah,
I don't know very
awesome
many
stuff.
I used to do a bunch of stuff down in Baja, and they would always be down there.
That's like where they built their brand.
Yeah,
it's like racing. Yeah, and just like being a part of that is so cool. And yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Fuck yeah, I'm excited for you guys, man. You guys are definitely doing it right. So yeah, if the public say they're not going to SEMA. Because you guys are doing your first run of pre-orders at SEMA.
We'll open it up probably right before the show starts.
Okay.
And then...
Will it be an online submission?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you'll be able to go on the website and you'll be able to open a configurator tool and you'll be able to select your truck and model. If it's not supported, it won't be in the configurator tool.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so if you have a Ford, GM, Jeep, Toyota truck, will likely be supporting that, and you'll see it in the configurator tool, and then you can go and spec out like if you want glass side panels, if you want a turret hatch, if you want load bars.
Oh, so it's customizable.
Yeah,
as far as how many openings you have, or
so the side panels will always open.
Okay,
but you will be
whether you want glass or
because the
pure
glass
carbon
is
fiber.
way heavier than the carbon fiber.
Oh shit, that's cool too. So you have some.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of ability. Like a lot of guys like to run like molly panels, on the outside or the inside of their side panels. So we're like, yeah, if you want that, then let's not have glass be the only option. And you
Right.
save weight.
Yeah.
But like for me, I always have the dogs in the back, and I want as much airflow going through there as possible. So I open up the sides, and I open up, if you can open up the turret hatch too. And then it's
I didn't even think about that.
like a ton of airflow back there. So
Yeah.
in the summertime, if you have your dogs in the back of your truck, it's a good option. And you can have the rear panel off.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see the baseline options, and then you can pre-order, and that's, the whole idea. In an ideal world, we get enough pre-orders to where we can just immediately start bringing in manufacturing capacity in Colorado and start building carbon fiber parts here, and then start delivering these as fast as humanly possible.
That's rad, dude.
Yeah.
So if people aren't going to SEMA, they can still go online. What's the date that's going to open up if they're listening to this and they have some interest?
To order one? I would say like November
Okay.
1st. Yeah.
Rad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, dude, we've been at it for close to 3 hours.
Awesome.
Let's call it.
Flown by.
But let's have you back after SEMA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have some shit to talk about because I think I'm going to try to make it down. I haven't been in a few years, and I need to go visit some people anyway. So I definitely will be hanging out with you guys at your booth. Probably too much. You're going to be like, dude, I wish this dude wouldn't even showed up. But yeah, no, that's rad. And then, what are you doing? What are you doing after this? Do you have to go anywhere?
No, I mean, I'm just going to let the dog out.
Okay.
But yeah, wife and daughter coming back tomorrow.
Awesome. All right. I was going to see if you wanted to grab some food or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, well,
Awesome.
Let's shut this one down. Thank you everybody for listening. Go support Richie, go support Narwhal and the entire team. At least check out the website. Like, even if you're not interested in buying one of these, some cool shit. Do you guys have any of your merch for sale?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
we
that's
just
cool.
launched the merch like last week.
Oh, so it's available now,
yeah.
right?
So there's
Fuck
some
yeah. I'm getting one of those t-shirts. I love the American flag on the side of it too.
Well, we're getting
the
more
hoodies
stuff
are
in
dope
there.
too.
So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's another way to support these guys. So yeah.
everything helps for sure.
Yeah.
And,
Mountainside community.
yeah. Thank you so much.
You know where it's at. It's rooted. Richie, man. Dude, thank you for the coin.
Yeah.
Thanks for the friendship. And yeah, dude. I
Thank
can't wait
you
to
so
have
much
you
for
back,
having
man.
me.
This has been a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
It's been a great first podcast.
Yeah, it's great getting to know you. I'm glad that we broke your podcast virginity here.
Yeah.
So. All right. Thanks,
right.
everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
Tyler, take us away.
Thanks for listening to the Mountainside Podcast. If you haven't had a chance to do this already, please take a moment, follow, like, subscribe, or rate on whatever platform you catch the Mountainside Podcast at. If you'd like some more information on upcoming episodes, safety tips, access to all of our affiliates, and all the badass discounts that we get here at the Mountainside Podcast, check out themountainsidepodcast.com.